Have a good weekend, but just do not look at the current market state. But at least we're going back up. Hey, we came back. We're down 420 right now. Now minus 4. Okay, here we go. We are starting to rip a little bit higher. I'm long the Qs right now. It's been a violent day today. We're actually going to be red on the futures. We're going to see what winds up happening here. And we'll talk about all the back and forths that we've had today. Thank you for coming back to us here at 2 o'clock. I'm just going to open up the chat so we can join everybody right now. And yeah, $44 on the TQQs. Starting to go back up. Just too many trades in here. Short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long. And now we're long. So, you know, over trading today, but just very excited to be here and trading. So what a violent day. Neil and I were talking and discussing where the...
I actually was looking this one up today. It wasn't the halt.
The halt bands.
We know the halt bands for the market. The 7%, the 13%, the 20%. But during the afternoon show, I had to refresh my memory about when the time deadline was, because we often don't talk about this. I actually... Like we've only been trading for over 20 years, but I can't think of a time the market hit circuit breakers and it didn't happen in the morning or in the aftermarket. Like there was the election, the first time Trump got elected, there was a limit down. Obviously, we know there was limit down during COVID. It's just that I don't think we've seen one in the afternoon. And I was reminded that after from 2:25 I think that's probably right. to 3 p.m. Central Time, so like that's a 3:25 to the close, only the 20% circuit breaker matters. So that 7% down doesn't matter in the last 35 minutes of the session. Anyways, that's just the fact that we were even discussing that is kind of tells you everything you need to know about today. So I'm in one position because I'm not into IBIT anymore. We'll get to that at some point, but Apple's trying to break trend. The market's already broken trend. Bitcoin is holding up like an absolute champion. Bitcoin for the win today. I don't know what the altcoins are doing. What the hell? They're probably not resting on Fartcoin today, but Bitcoin never broke the low, and it's broken the high, and we are at 84.4. Yeah, the daily chart's not that great, but we're into the gap. So we're into the gap here. I did take the breakout, but I played the break into prior resistance because the market's kind of the market, and I feel like you're stair-stepping to the upside. So I want to buy dips in Bitcoin. I think we've turned the corner here. It's always really important on days like today. Then throw in the fact that we got labor numbers this morning. Throw in the fact that it's a Friday. Throw in the fact that maybe we could get some news, hopefully some deals over the weekend. It's important how we close today. We say that every single day, but it matters a heck of a lot more when you were staring down, what were we, 5.5% on the NASDAQ at the most? The close matters. Because if there's not buyers in the last half an hour, or at least hour, I think that's telling us something that we don't necessarily want to hear, but we need to pay attention to.
All right. Yeah, I've just turned on the news feed here, so in case something does pop through. Yeah, well, look, we've closed on the highs before, then got killed the next day, right? I think that's going to be pretty important to try to at least, I mean, if you're going to look at the NASDAQ just as a broader scope here, that wasn't broader, that was zoomed in. Right into there. If we can get anywhere back to, I would say 18, I mean, we're at 17.9, so VWAP is at 18. I'd like to close above volume weighted average price, which would be a success. Look at this VWAP here on the 1 minute chart for the NASDAQ today. I mean, this is why I'm upset, because we had the short early. We should have never really gone against it. We tried to grab long. We actually had the long down there and down here, so we've made money back long. So it's net, it's going to be fine. We'll be. I'll explain this as we go, but yeah, I'd like to see us get above VWAP and hold that and close there. But it doesn't matter. That's the thing. Like it's almost like, you know, we got that nice bump when we heard before we left you guys at 11 o'clock that maybe, you know, some of Trump's administration have decided that enough is enough, and maybe that, you know, that little placard there was a little too extensive on some of these countries, and that they were going to think about easing back a little bit. We got the good news from Vietnam again, trying to pull back as well. So I think that as that starts to happen, the market should start to breathe a little bit more. But yeah, maybe this is just that great flush that many of us were waiting for, and then when it comes here, we're all upset about it. So yeah, the smartest people in the room were the ones that got out a while ago. And right now, it seems like there is no bottom, honestly. Like, down 4% and change. Like, I'm watching these TQs here in the NASDAQ and Apple and Google and Amazon and all these things, like they're just moving so much quicker, so much more extended than we've seen in the past. So it's about staying nimble. Maybe it's about scalping. We have too many scalps out here all the way. Like, I mean, even a stock like Palantir here, you know, bouncing off VWAP right now. If you want to go short, there are opportunities all over the place. I just wonder if maybe we do get that run into the close like we've been talking about there. What about Celsius Holdings? Okay, I'll talk about this because we just got a super chat. I want to say thank you so much right there for that super chat, Vishal. You know, this is what it's all about. We are actually just talking about it. You know, there's some changes going to be coming around here pretty soon. So we do want to thank everybody for their super chat. Not changes as in, you know, format of the show or anything dramatic like that. But yeah, I'll give a couple new looks.
Visually.
Yeah, we actually talked about a really great video wall potentially coming. Well, yeah, I've already, cat might be out the bag at some
Eat your
point.
heart out, Jerry Jones.
Yeah, exactly. The more everybody knows.
I can always turn something into a sling against the Cowboys.
So here goes Celsius. Yeah, great call, Vishal. I mean, we don't talk about this enough. I mean, they bottomed out. They had that great earnings report, and since then, man, you are starting to get back up. So Celsius, yeah, for the win right now. Huge move. We just saw this holding the 200 period, it looks like today. Obviously, we get some nasty wicks down, but if we can hold above that and then you get the market to move back up to the upside, I believe drinks produced in the United States, I don't know, but maybe not tariff there. So, you know, their largest market will be in the United States. I like this. And yeah, it looks like you're getting ready. Great look. I mean, options Joe, he's going to come up in a minute, but this might be something where you look for a higher move here. If the market wants to retrace, it's been beat up, but over the last couple of days, last couple of weeks, nicely done. Held the 50, looks like it wants to hold the 200. Great call, Vishal. Thank you so much for that look. And yeah, maybe we'll look at Celsius a little bit more. Haven't seen too many plays that look like that, holding the 200 period right now.
If you're relatively strong on daily today, it's great. Just one quick thing, and I said this in the chat, but I'm going to sort of repeat it out loud. I'm looking for, like, if I take any trades, especially to the long side, I want break-even stops. I'm going to get, if it starts going, like, we're just trending to the downside, so we'll take some shots, but it's like, get in, get your bottom tail wick, but the second it goes against, right out. And I wish I was looking at an imminent short, but we just jumped out of Apple. Like this morning, Apple, it was, whatever. We're going to talk about big cap tech, and I'll get into the time that I didn't take the reversion short on Apple. But I think in this case, you definitely want to have some, tighter triggers. Maybe just pick your spots. Try not to hold unless it's holding in the money is one thing, but holding against a grain doesn't make a heck of a lot of sense. But I like that look on Celsius. Anything that is not bleeding today is immediately a good sign. It doesn't mean, it's not an automatic buy, but I mean, heck, 19% short float. If it's decided not to go down anymore in this market, that can't be a horrible thing. Let's go over to Joe, see what names you guys want to talk about.
Auto buy.
There's nothing.
All right, no intro there, guys. Welcome to the afternoon rundown, the segment where we talk about the stocks you guys pick. So make sure you guys get in the chat and place in those votes. First on the list, we have Tesla, guys, as shares of auto-related stocks are trading lower as global markets continue decline following President Trump's announcement of sweeping tariffs. Tesla down over 8.5% here, guys, on the day.
You got your intro there, Joe. Come on now. We always
Exactly.
means not messing around. You got to make it happen. So about Tesla.
Oh yeah, when I was talking about the changes that were coming, that's it. That was it. That was the change. That was it. So thank you guys for supporting it. That's it. There you go. Now everybody knows that, and that yeah. So that was it. We're just doing the rundown after the first stock. You guys like that change or? Anyways, yeah. The more you know. Shout out to Ramin and Fabian here. Thing is, once it becomes Friday, like not only do I don't know, the markets get a little crazy, we get a little crazy too. And the more you sit at that board all week, like...
Well, there's a lot of keys, and I can imagine...
Like we'll start making some keystroke errors here, but they're there.
Oh, come on, Fabian.
Are they sleeping there? What's going on, Fabian?
Fabian's doing the whole, like, you probably had the drool coming out and all that.
Oh, he did that. Oh, you know what he was doing there? The roaring kitty. Where he's all beat up, he's all damaged there, and then he wakes Then we have Power Hour.
Do we have, you have your pick? He did Roaring, that's his Halloween costume.
Right, of course. Yeah.
Well, not everyone was around when we did costumes.
That's their problem.
Wow, we should, did we really? Yeah, there it is. He's got the look.
But that's live? Oh, he just has the bandana up in
apparently just.
Oh, okay. I was like, wow, he got that picture quick from Halloween.
That's, we had a dude who kept his costume around the office. And remember when there was the break-in? You can't make this up. I don't know if I'm
I don't know the story. What, the Halloween costume got taken? Oh, was it a mask or something?
Yeah, there was a break-in on the trading floor.
I get it.
Security's been upgraded since then overnight.
Right.
But there was cameras around. We'll get to Tesla.
I mean, it hasn't really been upgraded, but yeah, okay.
But there was cameras around. So it turns out that the people that were, it was opportunistic. You could see on the camera that they were probably a little bit under the influence and not exactly master thieves. So they're walking around the trading floor. Like people legitimately had, there's like tablets and stuff that are sitting
everywhere,
around and monitors everywhere. And so this dude had this mask from Halloween at his trading station, one of the traders.
Yeah,
and that got stolen. So he come in and it's like, all this stuff, and these dudes took it was like a skeleton mask or a Skeletor mask or some nonsense. Some decent stuff did get taken. Unfortunately, some people did lose some things.
Red bandana.
But Tesla stinks. Tesla's down 9%. The market stinks. I feel like if you get to a resistance point today, you're taking a shot at the short. All that said, there was a huge, we'll call it a capitulation bottom, when the SPY bounced off of the August low. So we got to the August low and bounced right off of it. That's this candle here. It's at 236. I think if there's any reversion into that at the close, that's probably the spot you take a shot for a reversion long. And this was wild. There were some trades off of that, but I took two, and both of them more resembled longs in here than longs down there. So VWAP, I think, makes some sense here on Tesla. Unless you're breaking away from VWAP, then I think you'll wait till some of those lows. And on the higher time frame, it's just... nothing about this chart says we're not headed back to 220. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, look, like we had the short as an idea to begin with, okay? And now I just feel like the fact that we bounced off of, and I'm going to show you the cues here. I mean, I think Tesla obviously is a beast of its own, but I heard Brendan mention earlier, and it was like, okay, we're right at that August low when we were down about 5%. And that happens to have been the very low, right into there. So, like, can any of us can't really figure out what kind of impact the next 6 months, these tariffs, or 3 months, or whatever, once, these companies start reporting and all that, then we get some more reads on GDP or whatever's been happening with the job market and consumer confidence and all that. But it's kind of, I'm kind of thinking that's like, maybe, I don't know, hesitant, like I'm choking even to say it, but maybe we just bounce temporarily off some of those lows there. And I mean, if that's going to be the case, then most stocks going out tonight. Now, I don't know if tonight, I don't think, we may not have bottomed yet. Like, I'm thinking we can go back and look at that low, which we're pretty much right there now. I think we were down about 5.5% when we were there, so we still could make that move lower. But just wondering, because of how good Tesla has shown it to be when times are good, I wonder if this stock has been beat up just a little bit too much, and we do discount some of the future growth opportunities here because we're too caught up in the now. And what I mean for that is potentially the robotics angle, and just the fact that these guys can produce cars without labor. It's all electronic over there and all automated. So, and then we have the Uber business killer maybe coming through with, their robo-taxis. So I don't know, will people spend 20 grand on an Optimus, a little robot? Yes, I think they will. I don't think that that's too...
Brendan will.
Yeah, I mean, I will. I mean, I think most people, I don't know about doing it for personal, like have it walk you around your house, but I mean for small business, small things.
I won't be the first person I know that gets it. I will be that person, like once a couple of people I know and trust have it and like they're cool with it, I mean, I'm all for it.
You're on your BlackBerry, No,
but I'm just... No, but this is different.
Right, you're scared of like world takeover.
I'm on some iRobot stuff.
That's what I'm saying. You're on some iRobot shit right there.
At all points in my adult life, actually probably since I was like 12 or 13 years old, in the last now, okay, well, you know how old I am. In the last 30 years, there is no point at which I haven't been actively reading a science fiction. I'm always reading something. The dude who wrote the Silo novels, I'm literally reading his short stories. So all I think about is the iRobot and how things can go bad. Well, I will get the Optimus at some point. And I still own Tesla shares. Oh, shoot. For those that are watching, Intel just broke that 20 bottom.
Yeah, someone just mentioned that as well. All right, Mitchell, let's do the rundown and then we'll talk about Amazon. Like, I wish Amazon was on there, but I'll have you marked. It's not going anywhere. Yeah, I know. I just don't want to keep you standing there, my guy. All right, so why don't we just do it? Mitchell's gonna chill.
Yeah.
I hope. Anyways, thank you so much for the super chat. We will get to your Amazon question in about 10 minutes or so. Let's do this. So NVIDIA, Nike, Walmart, Lulu. Let's talk about NVIDIA.
All right, guys. Well, I know that I am happy to get one of those humanoid droids. I will be fighting them, no problem, if that revolution ever came into play, guys. But let's talk about NVDA. The short float starting to increase, about a 6.6% increase on NVDA short float, putting at about 255 million shares short now here, guys, in NVDA, which is about 1% total of the outstanding shares here in NVDA, down about 7.5% on the day, guys.
Okay, how many times do we say October or August low during the rundown? So NVIDIA, August low as well. Whoops.
Anything else at August lows? Or?
There you go. I have to zoom out the exact right amount because it doesn't have, our chart doesn't have the split adjust. So there you go, 90.5, but really the support's already been taken out because the big support was 94 and 96, and we are well through those. As you can clearly see, NVIDIA down that 7.5%. Oddly enough, I tried and I think you'll see pretty much every trade since the morning that I've had has been a mean reversion trade. I don't think I've taken another type of trade because I just wanted those one-off shots. I actually had this mean revert, got stopped out, and then it made the high. But it's AMD that I'm looking at in the chip space because I think we're headed back down into the lows, and NVIDIA's close enough to that August bottom, whereas AMD, I know they all stink. I mean, it's down the exact same percentage. And I'm looking over at AMD, that's broken underneath that support level. Like, it's trying to play a little catch up here. I feel if we take out the lows and continue lower, then I want to flat bottom break it on advanced micro devices. Either that or short it at 88. That's the one I'm watching. Obviously, we just showed you guys Intel breaking 20, which is the low. 19 is a big support level on Intel. If we see that today, probably game on. But let's respect the fact that NVIDIA, AMD, Intel, they all have something in common, and it's that they're trending to the downside. All that's left for NVIDIA is that August lowest support.
All right, we also want to thank Foremost Clean Energy. Unlock the nuclear renaissance with Foremost Clean Energy, leveraging one of the biggest mega trends on the planet. You guessed it, it is nuclear energy. Partners with Denison Mines, with properties strategically located in the Athabasca Basin, wow, known as the Saudi Arabia of uranium. This undervalued company is poised to capitalize on the exploding nuclear market and offers unparalleled growth potential. The future is nuclear, and Foremost is your entry into the space. Go check them out, FMST under the NASDAQ, or CSE traded under FAT, of course, the Canadian Securities Exchange. And I want to say, great job. Adara had them. Well, there's Adara back there. They were on the midday show. Yeah, so if you want to go back, I think it was like around 1 o'clock or so. Which time? 12:45. Okay.
I mean,
close enough to
12:45, 1 o'clock.
Rewind a little bit. 12:45. Go find the interview with Foremost. So, okay. Thanks, Darren, for that, and thank you, Joe, for your patience. Let's go talk about Nike. Hey, Nikes. I've got on my New Balances.
Nike's on these feet here, Sean. But guys, is Nike gaining or losing market support here, guys? But we can see that the short float has fallen 13.5% here, now putting at about 36.5 million total shares on the short side here, guys, which is about 3.8% of total shares here in Nike. Positive here on the day as well, too, guys, with that news that Vietnam is putting 0% tariffs.
So, look, you have to
Up 5%. I didn't even realize this.
There's a saying I like, and Nike's chart exemplifies that as best as I could possibly say. It's okay to be wrong. It's not okay to stay wrong.
I never heard you say that before. That's weird.
I got out of Nike. Oh, this is a 3-minute chart, so that's 5. 20 minutes. I guess it wasn't that close. It was like 20 minutes before it blew up to yesterday's highs. I wanted to say something more impressive, but like the sad thing is it's up 5% in a down market, and it's just at yesterday's highs.
Right.
But we did short the pop. I had it into VWAP. Probably, I mean, I'd argue to myself that we didn't need to hold on to it to the break-even stop. Probably too much, but that's in the past. The good news for Nike, because there is good news, well, it's not really good news. It's just the chart. As far as reversal candles go, well, that would be a pretty nice one that we have going on here on the day. Like, you look at this on a 15-minute chart, well, it looks pretty good from here. That if anything positive happens over the weekend and you break this 59, it's been so bad that you start breaking levels like this after a capitulation bottom and you can get some squeeze plays. Now, I'm treating all bounces in this market until proven otherwise is like just take your shot and win on it and then get your profit out there and don't try to be a hero. But if we take out this 59 this afternoon, I mean, how many bull flags are we looking at this afternoon? Nike, Bitcoin, maybe Bitcoin, maybe not anymore. Somehow GameStop, I'm not even sure how or why that's happening, but there's not many that you're going to find. So Nike, 59, this breaks, just taking a shot. I don't know why I don't have the order in now, but I'm going to put the order in. It's $1 away. That's why I don't have the order in, because we just pulled back. But if we hold 58 and start trending higher, yeah, take a shot at the breakout for a trade, get in, get out. And Bob is your uncle. I don't have an uncle named Bob, though.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, sometimes it hurts so bad it's good, right? And I mean, I think that's what the case was today for Lululemon and for Nike. As, these stocks do get the benefit of that Vietnam push. And the thing is like, that's kind of what I'm trying to talk about here is that over the weekend, and this is just an example here of what can happen if and when some of these tariffs do come off or get renegotiated or whatever, because so much of this is baked in already, so we do expect there to be some of these lows and you try to pick up some of those bottoms again. And all you can really do, we talked about this, is try to, what was it? Was it Michael that mentioned it? It's talking about how, Goldman Sachs has all their investment bankers digging through. I think it was Michael. I don't know who it was, but anyways.
Yeah, it was Michael.
Yeah, just saying that, like, trying to find the names that are affected most by different tariffs and what might be the next play. So, yeah, Lululemon, I mean, there's UAA with Under Armour as well. I don't know if they got a bump. Like, again, it's just about trying to figure, so I guess they did. Trying to figure out, like, where these products are made. And so, yeah, that's why we look at a name like an ARM or like some of these other names that if we can get something figured out, where there's a negotiation back and forth, we could see some of these bumps. So for me, for Nike, I think you should buy the stock if you believe in the company, not just today because of this move higher. Look, man, I think it was a kitchen sink quarter, and that's what's been hit here. It's downside. We know that they have new management under, I think it's been about 2 quarters now, and we'll just wait to see if they can get it all figured out. They're going to have to blow out their inventory and start all over again. I caught flack for saying that Jordan was 70 years old. I think he's 62. And it's just they need a refresh. It has nothing to do with MJ or anything like that. It's just like when you sort of plant your flag, at some point you need to, and we talk about the refreshing cycle for Apple and the iPhone and all that, you need to get a little innovative. So I think that Nike at some point will get there. I mean, their budget's huge. They'll be on the Olympics, all that kind of stuff. So lots of stuff for Nike coming through, but it's just a matter of time. So yeah, $57, man. This is that falling knife. I don't think you do anything until it's 65 or so. But yeah, still ways to go on that one. Apple is 189.40. Is that what I just went in the chat? Okay, let's go back over. Oh, here we go. Oh, Lulu's already on there. Okay, good. So maybe we'll get to Amazon faster. Okay, let's do Walmart, and then we can we'll go to Amazon.
Retail.
Yeah, They're all
retail stuff here, guys. Walmart pressuring Chinese suppliers to cut prices amid new tariff battle here, guys. So you can see we're down about 3.5% on the session. So Walmart, again, canvassing Chinese suppliers to slash prices across product categories up to 10% for each round of tariffs. That's how the retailer aims to shift the burden of tariffs onto the suppliers here, guys. Walmart.
Walmart's hanging on by a thread right now.
Is it? Then I want to trade
The
it.
200 period on the daily and support.
Oh, wow,
We're talking
yeah.
about the entire, okay, not the entire.
Ooh, look at that break, though, even today, right
That's
now.
what I'm saying, man. It's always easy in a market like this to be like, okay, it's 84, you bounce, let's take it. But I'm going to point to, here, just show you the Intel chart to give you an idea, because Intel at 20 kind of looked the same, at least for today it looked the same. In this market, it's almost worth the shot to just take the break down. Because if it doesn't work, you throw a tight stop on it, maybe you give it like a quarter or a half or something like that through that low. Like if we do fall apart and break the lows, it's probably going to make that half dollar, full dollar relatively quickly, as opposed to fighting that long position. So Walmart, I love Walmart, shop there all the time, all that good stuff. I mean, that's where we go when we're in the States as well. But the trend is not looking like it's your friend. All the strength from yesterday is gone. This was a strong name yesterday. For it to be trying to take out these lows today, not a good thing. We could be breaking this 84.
Yeah, just for everybody knows, great. No, we're down to 5.5% again. We are not far away. I just bought some more Qs, by the way. We are not far away from the limit. If you get down 7%, the whole market is halting. So I don't want to hear anybody, I'll probably say it, my quotes are frozen, but the NASDAQ will halt. And I have no freaking idea what the TQQs are going to do when that happens. Yeah, we just bought this dip right there on the day's low. I'm trying to get this out. We just bought 42.06, but now my average price is 09. But that's I don't know. All right, anyways, I know we're still on Nike, but yeah, Walmart. I mean, again, another name. I was thinking, honestly, just in the retail space, what about a Home Depot or something like that? Again, nice move, not really too badly hit over the last little while. I mean, this seasonality for Home Depot is in its favor right now, with spring and summer and projects and all that kind of stuff. But again, not a great stock that if we are headed into a recession or worries about other political issues, then maybe Home Depot doesn't hold. But yeah, just like Walmart and just like all these names. I mean, Walmart's on the 200, so I guess it's a little different. But at the end of the day, it looks like Home Depot wants to hold. So I would say good dividend, strong name, strong American company. I like Home Depot also, like I said, for the cycle and the fact that they are in spring, summer right now should be good for the build. So anyways, that's a little take there on Home Depot. All right, Joe, you want to talk Lulu quickly and then we'll wrap it up?
With some Lululemon, we got an outperform here on Lulu, but also a downgrade. So lowers price target to 370 from 450, guys, but positive on the session, up 3% on the day.
We can talk a little bit about it. Regardless of, I think a lot of these days we can look at anything that's produced, outside of the U.S. is always waiting for those tariff news. So we just heard that story about Lulu today, and there it goes, the nice upside move. Again, year over year sales down. No one right now is safe from the consumer, I feel like, and you saw Amazon get hit to the downside as well. So I don't know, is there anything you want to add about Lulu? Because we can just almost go right into that Amazon question.
Not really. Everything we said about Nike, you can probably apply to Lulu. Walmart did break, so it hit 84, triggered in, but didn't break.
Oh, okay.
But it just broke now. So it has broken. It's just the first time it hit the level it didn't actually break. It doesn't really matter, but that's why there's an in and out flat in here where you pay fees if you're in. I'm not going to give this a wide berth. It's a bit of a flat bottom break, but you want to see it capitulate and fall over itself. The other thing you got to remember, here, let me show this.
Come on.
Is the market's at the low of the day too. So yeah, I want to give it a shot that we're going to fall here, but shorting on lows in a market like this, to me, it's a tight stop and it's got to work right away. So that's the way I want to play it. So the $0.50 makes a ton of sense. as an out. Lulu, we're not really talking about Lulu. I didn't have much to add in terms of Lulu, but I know there's a question. The question was about Amazon. I will say this much. I came in today, I wasn't bullish on a lot of things, and one of those mistakes was not flipping bullish on Amazon because I just shorted it once, watched it go ham off of VWAP, and it's been holding the volume-weighted average price ever since. I genuinely hope that if TikTok is sold, it goes to Amazon or Walmart. And if it goes to Amazon, then my next planned dollar cost average that was going to come later on in this year in Walmart is going into Amazon. Because if one of those two gets TikTok, I like them both, but that's the one I'm going to like a little bit more at this round. I think that would be a monster windfall. Well, monster is the wrong word. I think it would be fantastic for them. It's holding up really, really well today. Part of that might just be because of how bad it is. So there go the futures. But Amazon's above VWAP. Like, it hasn't really broken trend. If this loses VWAP, I think you don't fight it as good as it's been. I think you just short it through one set if it loses the volume-weighted average price. But right now, it's not the stock that I think you want to be shorting. I was going to say this is only one of the only things that's holding up, but it just can't. You can't hold up forever. If we just keep breaking lower and we approach that limit, I don't care how strong Amazon's been. It's going to join the party. Where's my first? It's right here.
Should have just.
We're going to get one at
punch that.
Got out one at 81, and I'm going to put one in the 70s, and then at the 50 level on Walmart. But yeah, I love this. If TikTok, I really, really hope that deal gets announced and it's Amazon or Walmart. Because I don't own any of the other ones that are rumored, that's why. So.
Okay. All right, so the market, I'll talk about Amazon in a minute about that, what you want to talk about, APR 9. April 9th, of course, they're launching satellites in the air to go the broadband internet. So, all right, just.
Get everything.
Okay. So we just went, okay, so we basically went up there, it broke, so we wound up losing, like, I heard Neil and everybody mention, like, you know, when you're going to be in these positions, you want to try to scalp out if you're wrong and vice versa. But was that 75? Like, do you think, I don't know, chasing the bottoms and chasing these things has been ridiculous. So we just got stopped out. I'd hate to have got, I mean, we didn't get stopped out at the low, but the market could bounce from here again. We've already bounced from this exact level and mooned off of that. I mean, mooned. Considering what we've been doing here, I don't know if that's a moon or not. But we did make a new low right there. Did not make a new low. We came close enough to it at 77 or so. We got punched out as soon as, I think it was 89. So as soon as 90 broke, we got out. So we actually wind up getting 89s, but now it looks like it wants to come right back up. I mean, do we punch the long here, hoping that the plunge protection team does not let this thing get down to 7%? But I don't know. What's up, Adara?
Just to recap here, in case anyone missed it, because TikTok was just mentioned, Donald Trump did sign an executive order giving them another 75 days to make this TikTok decision. He said that TikTok will be, quote, up and running during those 75 days. He's very eager to make a deal with China, despite him expressing disappointment over their retaliatory tariffs. Excuse me. So I would just like to really, really hammer in here. We might not have TikTok clarity for another 75 days as he continues to try to make a deal with TikTok and China. Again, TikTok also is a Chinese owner by the name of ByteDance. Back to you.
We were just having a conversation about
to give it more breath.
You've been trading around a while. You know, like the myths around the plunge protection team. It's like on really bad days, they buy the markets up. I was just sort of saying to Sean, like, I think there's probably at least a little bit of that is, it's quid pro quo, and it's probably like a few people in the know. It's some investment banks that just sort of informally, in certain situations where there's panic, provide support to the markets. But I don't wonder if that, I'm just thinking out loud, I don't wonder if that is like a partisan thing too, where like maybe they wouldn't do it. And that doesn't happen in an environment like this. And if you've been around since 2008, then you know all about the PPT. Like we'd sit there, and every time there was a good bounce, you'd be like, "Oh, we got plunge protection team," because we caught a bounce in the market when you were trading back in 08. So,
have you heard anything from Benzinga forever? Because
I was actually about to refresh mine.
Because I don't think it's even working for me.
I think you probably have to refresh. I haven't heard anything.
Well, next time you hear something, let me know, because I think mine hooked up fine. Okay, and the reason why we're talking about that is we'd like to have, obviously we have Adara there, which is absolutely fantastic, but we'd like to be able to hear in our ear as well if there is any breaking news. We have some, there's a bunch of different things, Financial Juice, Benzinga, different ways that you can listen to live news as well. But Okay, Mitchell, we said we'd talk about this. So you survived rolling an Amazon put. Obviously, that's great now, and for now, you're in the money. How do you believe the market is going to... This is the thing. How do I believe the market's going to react to once the reciprocal tariffs go into effect? I think the market's already acting as if they are in effect. So do you believe Amazon? Because I mean, I don't think Trump is going to be changing anything over the weekend. And if he does, then obviously my answer is going to change. But I feel that Donald Trump, whether or not he's being stubborn or not, I think this is going to roll for a couple weeks. And then you mentioned that the new satellite program, APR 9, I did have to Google that, but can rescue them sooner. So I don't know if Amazon needs rescuing per se. Thank you, Mitchell, for all that talk. When I'm looking at the Amazon chart, or just any chart really in general, they all look very, very similar. I like the fact, and what you're talking about is they're going to do something similar where they're putting up satellites to give internet. Okay, now the TQs are starting to get a little low here. We are now broke the low of the day. So here we go, man. There it is. It's the break of the low of the day. There goes the TQQs to the downside. We'll give this a little bit of room, but honestly, it can't be much because this is getting to be pretty darn spicy right now. So like a break of 50, let's just get out. It looks like that's what it's going to do. We tried the long again very stubbornly. Should not have been. Should have just flipped over into the short. But like I said, I thought there was more risk to the short than to the long just because of where we are. But now we firmly get down into those lows again, and it looks like we want to break even lower right now. So there it is right here. The market is now down 5 3/4 percentage points, looking to get down 6. There is no buying this market, it doesn't look like right now. So there we go, man. It looks like a big downside move right now happening. Congratulations, everybody that's been holding those shorts. And it just looks like right now we're eating our shorts here. It's just going downside for all the longs. And we sat in that long, or we're in the long. Right now, it doesn't feel pretty good, right? So this one will be about a 40-cent hit or a little bit more than that as we look to break a little bit lower. I wanted to give this more room, and it looks like that's a backfire. We could have just stayed away and gone short. We probably should have done that. The question now is, this is what we have to ask ourselves. Do we now go short through, I mean, it's already at the low of the day. You know, is there a bounce here, or does this just keep going? And we do look at that 7%. I mean, it's nasty. I can't even imagine UVXY, VIX, like what are we talking about now? Because this is extended beyond anything I thought.
Want to see the VIX? The VIX is a steady stream of green over here.
It's been a bad 10 minutes.
It is. But so here's what you got to look at. There's a double top on the VIX right now at 45 change. So what could happen, just in theory, is you can get to this and make it a triple top. And if that were to happen, there's a decent chance the SPY is testing that 7% at the same time. That would be a perfect storm. If you got to resistance on the VIX, and then we also tried to bounce off of the 7%, which would be the limit down, which only has 50 minutes.
That's right. There's a time.
So there's a time limit on the limit down. After 3:25 Eastern time, there is no 7% limit down. Once we hit 3:25, you do not have that barrier that's going to halt the market. Because at that point in the last 35 minutes, the only limit down is 20%, which I've never seen happen before. So you've got that limit, you've got that level on the VIX at 45 change, and then you've got the bottom here, which I don't think we can test the April 24 low at 495 because you'd be 7% down if you got there. I'm not sure you can get to that point, but all of that leads me to say, even on the shorts which are going, I think you want to have targets out there and make sure, like we're at spots where bounces can be violent. Like break even stops. Every trade's going to be once it hits a leg, break even stops and let it ride. So it's a break even stop or 83 for me on Walmart because I feel as if we'll be challenging that 6% down on the future at that point. I feel like I just don't see us hitting that band. Maybe that's me because I've never seen us test limit down in the afternoon. It just doesn't happen. Usually you go limit down at the open or you do it in the aftermarket at night. So we'll see what happens here. Really only have one position. Intel is, where is Intel?
We got some out there on that pop, by the way.
Intel's bouncing.
Yeah, we got some out of the queues there. It just popped back to flat for us. And we did not get out of enough, obviously, because it's going to break. We still have some. We still have pretty much all of it. We get out of 10%, well, about 15% of it. right there. Just like that was exactly what Neil was talking about there. Okay, here we go. There it goes. Now we're going to get stopped out. The violent swings right there. I gave this 40 cents. I think that was enough room. I agree with scalping out and taking profits where profits lie. And if they don't work, then get out immediately. And I feel like 40 cents on this name is probably fine. And here it comes back in. Why am I not getting stopped out? Okay, it's very, very soon. Just a couple more pennies lower than that. And okay, here we go. We're almost stopped out. Breaking through 48 will be out. There it is. So slap that last fail on that one. It's a bad one as we continue to flush down to the downside there. See, now I feel like, oh, I just got, I got taken out at the bottom, but there is no bottom. So we'll just keep on watching. A good short there on Walmart. I mean, it broke the key level, and there it goes. I'd hate to buy this right back.
It's not fun to look at. And we were saying this in the morning show, like the number of, like I got a bunch of messages. I woke up this morning early to a bunch of WhatsApps from people that are asking me what the heck is going on.
Well,
they're waking up. Well, no,
this
afternoon there was even more. Like a bunch of other people like, what is going on with this market right now? And I was just saying, look, everyone's afraid of a global slowdown right now. Like there's a bit of panic going on. But to that point, just before we go to Adara, I wanted to come back and make 1 point on the SPY.
Get going, you son of a gun.
Like, if you go further back in, like we've been on a 2-year rally. Like you have to think about the 360 bottom. Like ultimately, like if you bought 2 years ago, you're still 30-something% in the money here. So we are at that major level. We haven't really broken it away as far as I'm concerned. You could still get a decent bounce here. I'm going to tighten up my stops, but let's go to Adara at the desk.
There's some good news.
We've had a lot of talk on potential TikTok deals throughout the week, and now we have ByteDance, which is the owner of TikTok based in China, weighing in on these deals. A spokesperson for ByteDance, said they've been in talks with the U.S. government with regards to a potential solution, as they put it, for TikTok U.S., but they have not been executing, as of right now, any agreement or pact. So ByteDance confirming they have not yet reached a definitive deal with the U.S. when it comes to TikTok, though they've been in talks, and they said that any detail that is made with regards to TikTok will be subject to approval under Chinese law. So ByteDance chiming in here on these TikTok talks that we've had, guys. Back to you.
TikTok.
Well, we'll see. After I said all of that, I trailed myself out of Walmart.
Yep.
I do that. Like Walmart's part of this group that's moving in theory on any TikTok headlines. So there's the issue that it could be, well, what if somebody else is now, like if Amazon was the favorite, then that's good for Walmart. But like you could see, like if that was a deal was getting closer and Walmart's one of the ones that could do it, I wouldn't want to be Walmart short. So I need to find my way back into this. But I tend to have a quick trigger if I don't know the news, and this is exactly what I did on Intel yesterday. You guys saw it. Like you hear one thing, you're like, don't like it, let's get out. I think we got a short pop still. August low for the Qs is 423.45. Yeah, I actually wasn't paying that much attention to the August low for the Qs. I was looking at the SPY mostly, but it's this same principle. I think when you get to those levels, remember, we're now 6% to the downside. I've never seen this before, not in the afternoon. We've seen halts in the morning, like a limit. We've seen limit down in the morning. We've seen it overnight with the election. So I don't know if the old rule is true, where it's find something to go long that you feel comfortable with, because the general thing is you bounce after the limit down. Never seen this in the afternoon going into a weekend with headline risk. So it's a very different story, potentially. Yeah, NASDAQ. Yeah,
I finally
right.
flipped short. I think we're going to touch that 7% just
there's
because.
a decent chance.
I just think it's just going to go there. We're going to go to Adara.
That's a problem.
Q&A here in AEHL. This is Antelope Enterprise Holdings. If you're looking for small cap runners, this one actually continuing to make higher highs and higher lows throughout the afternoon. That is AEHL. Something to keep an eye on here if you're looking for some non-mega cap down 6% plays today. Back to you.
Okay, we're almost down 6%. We finally flipped over to the short now, which means it's probably going to rip, so get ready. All right, here we go. Down 5, 5.3, 5.96, 5.94. NASDAQ trying to go. So, yeah, we already zoomed it out. So we've already talked. Oh, that's the TQs. I should show you guys. It's better on the Qs because, again, remember with options and all that kind of stuff. Okay, here we go. I'm bidding 4102 for that. I just want to show you that is, we had zoomed in and zoomed out and all that stuff on this number right there. But if we just draw a line to that very bottom of the August 5th capitulation there, that would be basically 420. I mean, I don't know exactly where it was. I guess I could use eSignal and zoom in to that, but you're not too far away right now on the Qs. And again, that's a $423 name. So we could definitely get moving on this. And if it does, man, then yeah, okay, a little bit of a bounce. I don't really look at this too often. So the way the level 2 is going to look is going to be a little bit different than the TQQs. But yeah, we are. This is what the NAS, like,
oh, someone just crossed into Amazon and got smoked.
Dude, since 2 o'clock. Amazon, will Amazon hold the 170 level?
Somebody just crossed into Amazon. It was at 172.80. You could visibly see them cross up to 173.20 and gets filled instantly. So somebody just went in and tried to buy it and crossed the bid by 30 cents. You could see their order wipe, and they were sitting on the bid. They got instantly filled. So I don't know. If it breaks that, it was up to the quarter. I'm going to give it to VWAP because it's not often that you see somebody with.
What did someone do? They crossed the bid?
It was at 30, and they crossed up into the offer.
So they tried to buy it.
30 pennies and tried to buy.
Okay.
Took out everything, and then got insta-filled on the way back down. So either they're a genius or they're trapped. So I'm going to take a small shot here and see if they're trapped. Because VWAP is the out in here. Yeah, maybe they're smart. I've seen this before.
No, I was going to say, when you mentioned that's why I want to double check it, because maybe someone came in and bought this market up. I mean,
when I say I've seen this before, you know what? It's going to hold up.
We covered a little bit.
I've actually had this happen to me. Like anyways, I'm going to take that shot every single time. I had this happen to me on the show, and it was on NVIDIA, and I had the bottom. Let's just say I had the bottom. However, I kind of keystroked, and I put a few zeros on it. And unfortunately, I wish it had been one extra zero, but it wasn't. And so in that moment, it didn't matter that I had the bottom. The algos just decided they were going to punish me because I couldn't hold it to the low of the day, which would have normally been the stop because of the mistake that I had made. So therefore, they punished me out, and then the stock just rallied forever for the rest of the day.
Punished you out. Do I like that?
Well, no, that's probably a bad way to say it. No, they essentially held it down till the idiot that crossed that much was out, and that idiot was me.
Oh.
And then from there, it just went higher. So that's what I just saw on Amazon, and of course, it ends up now it's going to bounce. So whoever just made that buy, I was thinking maybe they just got trapped and we flushed. That's why I took the shot. But it's also possible that that's a whale that knows what they're doing. I've just been on the other side of that. If I see somebody that I think fat-fingered, my gut is to go in the opposite direction of them in case the algos decide to take them out. Anyways, just wanted to kind of explain why I would go short a stock, which kind of looks like it's strong. But I'm not in it anymore. Everything I take is going to be very, very much in and out quick. But I will be kicking myself for trailing out of that Walmart. That is pretty much a mistake. Mean Gene, I'll say it a bit slower. As Amazon was breaking VWAP down, it was about 30 to 40 cents underneath VWAP.
Look at this.
Somebody put a buy crossing 40 cents up right to VWAP. So it was at 73.8, and they crossed it to like the 425. They got filled instantly for a huge size, and then it came right back down. So my thought is they just got trapped long. They thought they thought they were moving it up. I thought they were trapped long. Turns out it was bouncing. That's all. And it's weird because sometimes I had this conversation with my physio guy. Sometimes I'll say something as a trader that sounds really, really easily explainable to me, but it's like, if you don't watch level 2s, it's kind of gobbledygook, and I apologize for that. I understand sometimes what we'll say that seems normal to us can be a bit convoluted. I just thought the guy fat-fingered and got
As soon as you said it, I should have just gone the other way. Like, I actually thought about it the other way. That's why I asked you. Someone
Like a
knows
real
something,
buy.
and they went in there, and they bought Amazon because
Well,
we
it
had
might
that
be.
170 bottom.
Might be.
And they're just like, we're buying this name right now. Could be TikTok related. Could be really anything related. But at the end of the day, yeah, good look on that one. Good look that you're able to see it. And that's why we talk about reading the tape, reading the level 2, right? And so, yeah, we might be getting read our rights pretty soon here because I don't know if I just called the bottom or not, but yeah, now we're short. I mean, look, we're out 10 pennies right now. It's not the end of the world, but we had to average into this. So let me take something out here if we can pull back into flats because we almost broke through 42 there. Finally, for the first time, it feels like today, we average into the short when the market tries to pop a little bit here. So we'll see if we can get something out a little bit lower than obviously where we are right now, as we're finally in the money on this short, but it's just very, very brief. Need to take some out here. Hopefully we can fall back in. I don't know if that level, like Neil and I said, man, I mean, you guys we can all guess at where this market wants to go, what levels may hold, what levels may not hold. But at the end of the day, you have to be nimble and be able to trade out of your positions and trade into them when you think there's something there. I just wanted to fade the pop, and what we were really doing, you can see I zoomed into here. I just didn't think we would take out this level right here, and we pretty much did. So we're right here right now. So that big, that's a big green candle. Obviously, this is a 5-minute chart, so let's just wait to see if it can settle down here. But yeah, we got to stop out at some point. I just hope we don't stop out at the top again. Well, we may do that. We were able to get something out down there at 41.20, but since then, man, Neil just mentioned that big buy there on Amazon. So we'll see. Here it goes. The market wants to go. We just covered a little bit more down there for flat at 70s, so that was good. But at the end of the day, it looks like it wants to go higher, and we could lose another 20 pennies right here. So sucky on that one, but we'll wait to see where this market wants to settle down. Adara? Nope. Okay.
We're going to talk a little ProfitX, everybody. So shout out to ProfitX, because if you want top tier odds in total control, ProfitX is bringing you peer-to-peer picking, open API access for automation, which is fantastic based on the lines they have and the ability to make markets. And it's all in one place where you can trade your positions. It's like day trading your favorite sports. You make offers, match plays, sit outside the bid, do a little market making, and you manage your risk with diverse prediction options. Don't just place picks, exchange and trade them. ProfitX is a smarter and faster way to play. Users can use code TRADERTV to get our sign-up offer of 2% cash back up to $300. Scan that QR code in front of you. Maybe you like the NBA. Maybe like me, you prefer the college game. Kind of a big weekend for that, everybody.
Yeah.
Let's go Auburn. I don't like Duke. Let's go Auburn this weekend. Well, you know I don't like Duke.
Yeah. No,
and, never have, never will. Nothing against Duke personally. It's just most college basketball fans that aren't Duke fans don't like Duke. It's like the Yankees. They're the Yankees. They're the Patriots. So
I didn't know. I thought Judge was using those bats, but he's not.
No, it's it's like 3 Yankees that use this bat that everyone's losing their minds of, and people were using. This is the thing about the Yankees. Other people were using this bat last year, and nobody was talking about it until the Yankees hit a bajillion home runs.
Right.
It's a copycat league, but if you're not doing it, then
for sure
you're not trying. All right. I mean, Amazon's going up. The market is bouncing, and to my chagrin, Walmart's still going down. So I'll slap the fail on myself for not holding on to that short. Well,
at least you had.
This is this kind of a market. Like, we are bouncing right now, and this did not bounce. So I trail out of that to only have it continue to go, and that's the tricky thing here.
We don't have it.
It's this kind of market where sometimes, like your old, hey, I'm going to put a trail in because if we bounce off the lows on the futures, and this should bounce with it. Sometimes that doesn't necessarily work out, but I do prefer this after the flat bottom break to the short side. I don't want to short the low when the market's bouncing, however. I do want to take you just for a quick second back to Intel, because it's now resisting 20. After, like, it was supporting 20, now it's resisting 20. So if we're looking to short pops and think the market could continue to go down a little bit more, then we got to look for, I might look for a topping tail candle at 20 in here or something. I just want a scalp trade on Intel. In and out where I can be either like wrong instantly or right instantly. That kind of a resolution here. So I'm watching 20. Ideally, I can get a pop on trend in Walmart as well. Finch Jane, Bo Jackson's a legend.
Bo Jackson, yeah.
Chill vibes. Is NVIDIA discount to you long term?
Bo Jackson's Auburn, no?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson.
I played with one of the guys in my men's league, who was one of our best players in my men's league baseball history. He was an Auburn guy. He played, Yeah, he played with Donaldson at Auburn. So Josh Donaldson, Blue Jay, and a buddy of mine played at Auburn together. So I like Auburn. Let's leave it at that. So therefore, they win. Doesn't mean I should bet on them, but
right.
It kind of means I will, because I get degenerate like that. But is NVIDIA a value? Look, do I think NVIDIA is a value here? Yes. Does that mean I will blindly buy it here?
Yes.
No.
Oh.
No. So I already
No, I knew that answer.
I bought NVIDIA once this quarter. And when you're in this kind of a downward trend, like I'm not just buying the next level. I'm at least at bare minimum waiting until it breaks trend, which doesn't seem like it's going to happen, or waiting until we get the next Q, like the next something needs to change. Good news, next quarter, holding a support, breaking a trend. It doesn't, like that valuation stuff, I might think so, it doesn't matter. AMD is at a 13 PE right now, forward PE. 13 on AMD. That's a value. If they make their numbers next quarter, of course, on a valuation basis, that would be a buy. But is that helping AMD right now? That it's fundamentally cheap? Nope, not at all. I need to redraw the trend line. It's just, I think you have to throw some of that out to a certain extent and just try to respect the fact that you're in a falling market. And if you miss the bottom and you break the trend, it won't matter because the bounces are so spectacular. And 08 was the same thing. Like when there were bounces in the financial crisis, it's not like you needed to get the bottom. They were ridiculous. We resumed downtrend oftentimes, but they were pretty amazing to have. So you don't have to worry about, this valuation is right, so I could buy it here. It's more of a momentum game when we're in this type of a market. And as I said, we are now at 3 o'clock. Which means we are 30 minutes away from dodging the bullet of any potential limit down. Because you can't go 7% limit down after 325.
Well, you can't go limit down, but you can definitely
you can still go
7,
lower.
8, 9, 10, 12% down.
It's actually
just the market won't
That's
fall.
not even a good thing. It's actually better if you stop the market at 7.
Okay, I'm just getting frustrated here because we're short and I just keep on scalping and I don't want to scalp it. But it's not going down, and it's like we take the trade, and then it just, like, we get stopped out, and then it moves. Like, this is just, it's little nuts at these levels right here. So I'm switched over into the scalpel. We're already out of half of this. I do have another bid here at 92. Hopefully, there we go. Did we just get it? Yes, we did. And then I'm going to bid for 75s and wait for sort of where we've gotten before. We actually got, that was 73s, so we'll wait to see. But you see what I'm saying? Like, we just get a 92. And if you're trading with shares, like, to bounce around 20 cents, it's probably not right to trade with a maximum default or anything right now because you'll get those dramatic moves one way or another. And if the market wants to continue to be on this little trip of itself right here, then yeah, why bother, especially when it's so headline risk sensitive. So I'm just going to continue to get some of these out and then hope that we have a little bit. Well, now we have half because we got that 91 fill, but we'll see if we can have like 40%. I'm trying to get out of another 10% here at 75. If we can, a little bit less than that, but if we can get that out, then great. Then we can try to hold this 40% for a retest, hopefully of those lows. I'm only saying that because I'm short. See, now I'm thinking like if we miss that 75, this is like how my day's been going. So I'm actually going to punch some out there at 81s, and then now the 75s will come in. So we'll be okay there. Okay, so now we have 40% left of our trade. So here we go. Let's see if we can fall back in just a little bit. See, it's starting to make money. We're in this position. It's just a 3-digit winner right now. Trying to make a little bit more on it, but we're not having a good day chasing these names. So I want to try to sit in it, and yeah. So here we go, man. Try to channel our inner. I don't know. I know Obi had a nice hold there today.
It's one of these days where I just saw.
I don't know if holding is right or
Wayne
wrong
said
or what.
GameStop up 11% or
we saw
10%
that.
and why. Ryan Cohen bought shares and has over 8% of GameStop now. So in this type of a market, you will see things like GameStop up 11% into a bleeding market. Does that mean that GameStop is a quality company? I'll let you guys be the judge of that. My answer would be, I don't think so. They want to buy some Bitcoin, good for them. I don't think that's necessarily, I like Bitcoin, but I don't necessarily think that's the best business plan. But yeah, it's breaking out right now. So you could do a heck of a lot worse if you're looking for a long. It's got squeeze potential, but the short float's no longer what it used to be. But I'll tell you this right now, the fact that you even get things like GameStop going again when I'm not even sure it should be, that's a good thing for trading. So great shout out. It just broke out a multi-level high as we just hit power.
There it is. There's power hour.
There is power hour, everybody. GameStop breaking out on this 15-minute. I think you look for dips strategically. like right back into prior highs makes some sense. Oh, Intel's trying to run.
Like now the market looks like it
level
wants to
again.
run again.
GameStop might just be
we just
momentum
covered
something.
Oh.
This market's topsy-turvy. A traditional little squeeze play and just see what happens might not be too bad. Like it's so beaten up, GameStop.
Same.
Right, it's off the lows.
They had that offering, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, they rinsed everybody with that offering. That's the other problem with holding that shares of that company. When you know a company wants to dilute and take advantage of the, so when retail buys up and then they just dilute on you, and I would never want to be long-term invested in a company that just does that over and over again.
No.
Yeah, like Mullen or
Mullen. Yeah, well, I mean, eventually there's only one way for those stocks to go because they will run out of that.
You know what's crazy?
And
Mullen only makes them in the USA. So,
wow.
my USA. Tariff war resistant Mullen.
Good old Mullen, yeah.
Third worst company in the history of the stock market.
How come no one's saying to hide out in Mullen, you know, maybe? Yeah, no, Nicola's gone now, I guess. They went down to the
Mullen's
OTC
worse.
markets, and eventually that's what winds up happening. We saw Polestar, so on and so forth. Okay. I don't... A little late to the party to be a bear today, but here we go. Down 5.77%. For those of you that want some excitement in the market, thank you for joining us here at Trader TV Live.
Yeah.
We are here every single day, no matter what the market's doing, whether or not it's up 5%, down 7%. We're here at 8:30 every single morning. We have economic numbers for you. We have the talk. We have Trump. We have Adara dropping news every time something happens, bang, right there. Whether or not it's affecting the stocks we're trading or whether or not it's just a news-related story to something else. You never know when your stocks are going to start to bump around. Make sure you do have us up. Even if you're doing something else, go fold laundry, go cook a meal, whatever. Have Trader TV Live on in the background. We're here. We're going to talk about the markets all day. So we have crypto talk, right? We've been trading IBIT earlier on. We're talking GameStop. We've got the futures on board. Okay, come on, get down. Like, why are we bouncing? Just go down right now. So we're in this futures trade looking for a new low, right? Drop your questions in the chat. We'll answer those for you.
Yeah. Just asked in the chat, if we hit limit down, do we stay on? 100%.
We stay on.
Yeah, if the market halts, we're right here.
I might have to go get a new pair of pants.
We're not going anywhere. Hey, sometimes you got to hope you wear the brown pants.
I might have to go get something checked out, but no, I mean, if that happens.
No, the show goes on regardless.
I mean, unless Fabian fades to black, you know, he might just be like, that's a Ramin trick. Oh, there it is.
No, we lost power one time and only our microphones were working. I couldn't look at any charts. We were sitting here blind, but we stayed on. It's just.
Right, we're starting to go now.
Well, the market's starting to come back into the downside. Oh, goodness, Walmart hit a fresh low. Apple hit a fresh low.
The minute the market gets minus 7%, we're turning the stream off, yeah.
NVIDIA hasn't hit a fresh low just yet, so GameStop might actually pull back into that prior high. I saw someone say these guys won't trade GameStop.
The show must go on.
No, we've traded GameStop before.
What?
I'll cop to the fact that I wasn't paying attention to it today. There was so many other things to look at that were moving that this one was certainly a miss, because that's textbook. It's a textbook continuation play. You hear me say I like when morning resistance turns into afternoon support. That's textbook on GameStop.
By the way,
tail candle, double bottom here at 22. Usually that's one I'd like, but missed it.
You know what? Here, I can show this. I want to show you an imbalance here. So I actually got to ARCA. It should be on ARCA, right? How do you get the? Okay, hold on a second. I'll just show you over here. I don't know if you can.
I got.
Yeah, look. So I want to show you this on Neil's computer.
Oh goodness, right here.
Yeah. So I don't remember the last time I even saw the spiders on here.
Never. Well, it's not never. It's just a long.
No, but that's $2 million times 5. I mean, I don't even know what the SPY's at right now. 510,
502. Well,
whatever it is. But at the end of the day, that's a big order. We don't see that kind of stuff flying around. So there you go. There is a big sell order in there on the SPY, looking to hit the market at the close.
No, that's a billion. That's a billion.
Yeah, it's 2 million times 500. Is that a billion? No. Billion. 2 million shares times $500.
Last I checked was a billion. And it's bigger than the paired volume as well. The open interest is 3.7. But remember, we've seen imbalances on the overall market in the billions before.
Oh no, but I'm just saying, like that is just the SPY.
Exactly.
Like what's going to happen when the Nasdaq comes out? And then not only that, that's the SPY. Then you have SPXL, the levered ETFs. Like if that's going to hit the market, you're going to have ETF. Basically, forget about Liberation Day and Liquidation Day. This is going to be Liquidation Friday for many people's accounts, and I, in my account included, I'm not going to get liquidated, but definitely, if you thought Trader TV Live was going to be, excited today, wait till you see what happens on Monday. Like when this market right now, here we go, we're getting back into the lows again. You're about to see -6%. You can get rid of that, Fabian. Thanks, my guy. You're down now, almost down 6%. The TQs are now down 17% right now today. Here we go into the lows of the day, and finally, we've got it, man. We've got the short on. We've told you that we were going to try to hold this, and bang, there it goes. It's a nice short as the bears come in right now. Oh, man. I don't know, man, maybe a nice Barolo for tonight or something, because I got to wash these fears away, because there it goes down into the market. Actually, my daughter right now is at baseball. So she's got, listen to this. Nice. She's got baseball right now 3 to 4, hockey 6 to 7. Then tomorrow morning we got to drive. I know I say hockey and Joe sparks up over there. Then tomorrow we got to drive to Peterborough first thing. She's got a game, I think, at 11 o'clock or something. Peterborough is like an hour and a bit away. Anyway, it's going to be a complete. And then we got another game in Ajax on Sunday, and then back to practice again on Monday. So hit the damn sirens. We're busy around there. Ooh. We saw the Minions movie yesterday.
No, Minecraft.
Minecraft
we got tickets.
Movie.
We're going tomorrow.
Minions, who cares? We're watching it all, man. I feel like a market minion.
That movie is old. Minions?
Yeah, there's like 7 of them, isn't there? But that Minecraft was good. I do actually, all kidding aside, I thought it was pretty entertaining. My wife was beside me. She was laughing at some of the jokes. It's funny. A little bit better than I thought it would be. So for those of you looking, I know Neil's going to be taking the family there.
We're going tomorrow, but we have a baseball camp or clinic, one of those clinic things.
Yeah.
So we're going, I think we have to go, maybe we'll have to eat, go baseball, eat food, then right to watch the movie to go on time. But my daughter loves Minecraft. So the market is a weird thing in that Amazon's bouncing, the market's at the lows. Walmart continues to be a problem. It's now down 5%. This is I'm looking at Intel 20, but look at Walmart. This is trend down when the market's not even breaking lows. I should never have gotten out of this trade, but the market bounced, so I put a trail on it. And this is not following the market. So I'll take a shot if we get back into the prior high at 83, because this is the one that I don't think I should have gotten away from it at all. William Knight in the chat, shout out to you. I see you there. Tesla didn't have its first profitable year until 2021. Mullen has been in the market at least a decade, less than Tesla, and publicly traded about 3 years only. If you like Mullen, all I'm pointing out with regards to Mullen, and look, I will cover all sides here. I'm not a Mullen hater. It's just the simple fact that I don't know, outside of them and Camber Energy, many companies that have reverse split and sort of diluted as many and so often times gone back to paying stock status, the performance of the stock. When I said it's one of the worst stocks in stock market history, I just really meant the performance if you pull up like a monthly chart. So I'm not going to pretend to be some person who knows their business. I'm just talking about the chart. I'm just talking about how the stock has moved. And Camber Energy is pretty impressive if you ever want to look that one up in all the wrong ways. I wouldn't want to own it regardless of the fundamentals when it looks like that.
Yeah, I think when you're talking about a stock like Mullen as opposed to like a stock like Enron or something, Enron just kind of rips the Band-Aid off, all your money gone. Mullen just keeps on giving you these opportunities where you think you can put more money in, and then it just does its same old move again. All right, we've been covering a heck of a lot, man. We have 25% left, that's it. Still a decent amount, but there it is. It's breaking the 50-period moving average. It looks like we do want to bounce a little bit off those exact same lows again. This is not rocket science so far. The lows keep getting lower. But again, I mean, I have too many here. You know what? I'm actually going to take this off. Wrong option. I'm going to take off all these executions just for now because it's messing everything up. What I want to show is that, you know, you still are making these lows. We got a low there, then we made a new one there, and then we made another new low there. But this last low that we just put in at 41.30, which we do have a bunch of outs on, that was not a brand new low. So right there for the NASDAQ, you are starting to go, like there's the low there. We made another one right there. Then bounces, doesn't touch VWAP, gets kind of close. Then makes the move all the way back in. Another low there. So 3 consecutive. And then that last chance at the low does not go. And it holds. So that could have been something. So just in case you guys were thinking about what this next 40 minutes, 50 minutes are going to bring before the imbalances. You know, maybe we could have just seen a temporary bottom, but yeah, I don't know. So on that note, we're short at 42.13. I'm going to stop out, honestly, at 42.05. Like this, I just don't really want this to break too much higher than where, that's 42.05 right there. Just to get into all this, I mean, we can hold it up to those areas. You know, maybe we will. Let me just change that quickly. I'm going to get it out. That's because we don't have that many shares left. It would still be a hit, and we'll lose 20 more cents if we do this. But 42.25, so 42.26 if it breaks. Oh, I'm doing it on the other computer, on the other screen. 42.26 is where we just put it in. So right there, we're coming back into this consolidation. The reason why I want that area is I'm going to put, well, we're getting into the area where we should put a little bit more on right now if we want to. All right, we'll put on a little bit more right here against that level. So here it comes. All right, so we're going to get stopped out if it does go. We'll put on another piece right here. This is our average price. There it goes. Bye-bye. Did that even break out? I don't know, but there it is. There's the stop out. So we'll slap a fail on the fact that it does go back up there to the upside, but you're just into this area again. There's that wick. Look at this, 5 straight or 6 straight green volume candles. Looks like the market may want it to bounce from that level, and we might have just got wicked out, so who knows. But there it is, nice move higher there on the NASDAQ. We're flat and out, and we should have been still in, but there it goes. Nice move up and back down now for the NASDAQ.
Yeah, I mean, Intel's trying to go, but it's not.
It always happens.
It's not
like
moving,
that.
so it's not falling right now, which is not good for the short. But it didn't just pop when the market just went. I'm just eyeballing the tape here. It's starting to accelerate a bit. But if you're looking at the other chip names, the bigger chip names, NVIDIA is breaking resistance. AMD is trying to go. Apple is broken trend from the downside. You're starting to look like a long in NVIDIA. You're holding higher low support all afternoon at 93.5 when the market's trending down. So this is starting to amp up a little bit. It's always weird to be like short one chip name and long the other, but I feel like if it's long NVIDIA and short Intel, at least in theory, you're long the right one. But if 20 breaks, I'm out of Intel anyway. So I'm going to buy some dips in NVIDIA here if we even get something like that off of this prior resistance at 94.25. NVIDIA looks distinctly different right now. You're into power hour. I'm going to double check that. Imbalance. Well, that's interesting. The SPY imbalance of 2 million is still there to sell. Now FXI is there for 5 million. But just keep in mind, FXI is only $33, so that's a fraction. That's a fraction of the notional value of the SPY. The SPY, that's $1 billion to sell imbalance on the SPY. And what are you looking at there? Like 100 eyeball at 170 million on FXI. So that's not a lot of money. It's a heck of a lot more money on the SPY. If you were to see this get 10, 15 million on FXI, worth paying attention to for sure. So I want to see if we can flip
100 million today. Oh, wow.
What was that?
Already done 100 million FXI.
100 million?
Yes, that's what I was.
Sheesh.
Wow, this
Volume's back, baby.
Getting crazy. I was trying to just find a stock that might be at a decent level. You mentioned that Amazon. I don't remember what that level was when that buyer came in, but it seems like that's way up now, up to 170.
Oh, they're winning.
Up to 170.
They bought, so the order was, it was at 172.80. They crossed up to 173.25. So their average price would have been probably right in around 173 even. It went against them maybe 50 pennies, and it held VWAP and is going. It looks like whoever did that swipe up was just dead on and dead right. So I went short when they did the swipe because I just thought that's, somebody fat-fingered. Maybe they really, really wanted it. It could always just be a short cover. That's the other side of it.
It's Tesla.
It could just be a short cover on the way back in. But this is also breaking out. And above VWAP, better than NVIDIA. I'm still trying to get NVIDIA, but if I don't get NVIDIA, then Amazon is definitely a short as well. Intel broke, by the way, so Intel.
A lot of stuff is starting to rip.
No, Intel broke that 20. I'm out of Intel. Oh, there you go. Sometimes it just takes a second.
We can go to Adair quickly if you guys want, and then we can come back. Okay.
No news on this market push, just looks like a bit of a bounce here, but TSLA a bit on watch a little bit here. Bloomberg reporting that the company's Vice President of Software Engineering, David Lau, is said to depart the company. So TSLA on watch. Software Engineering VP might be leaving, according to Bloomberg. Back to you.
According to Bloomberg, huh? Well, we have Worksport right here introducing a new discovery on the NASDAQ. It's Worksport, ticker WKSP. Worksport is a U.S.-based manufacturer and rapidly expanding with growing revenues, government contracts, and innovative green energy products designed to power your life off-grid. Whether you're on the move or seeking sustainable energy solutions, Worksport has you covered. Now trading under the NASDAQ under WKSP. That's right, it's Worksport to discover the future of clean energy. Go check them out, WKSP, another U.S. company there. Could be beneficial of some of these tariffs that we talk about. And make America great again, just not the markets. Tesla, nice move up. It does have that wick top out at 242. Again, trying to hold out through the 50 period, sorry, the 200 period moving average right now is the NASDAQ. Broadcom, I mean, some of these stocks have had some nice moves back up there to the upside. Let me check out what NVIDIA is doing real quick. Yeah, so there it is. Nice move again. Maybe a pullback in is the solution now as we wait for these moves. But the NASDAQ does make a move back higher right here. And I don't know, like I said, these bottoms, maybe that lower low gave us that idea there because we did not break that new low. We made that bottom right there at 17,500, and now we go up about 200 handles. I thought that if the market could close near VWAP, which is 18,000, then maybe we would have something, but it doesn't look like it wants to do that, and we may just want to continue to go higher. So unless there's a stock that's sort of lining up at a key level VWAP or something like that. I actually saw Broadcom, that's what I was mentioning there. It started to go upside there, only down 3%. Yeah, so there's Broadcom coming up to a level right there. That's the whole day. So this looks like it wants to turn positive on the day. Actually, Broadcom is over where we were at the open. So there's not too many stocks like that. There's Broadcom, 148.50, now up to 149. So there's its open for AVGO. And there's the move back in for it. So we'll wait to see. Does Broadcom want to take out new highs right now, maybe? I guess this market's not going SSR.
Broadcom was a great... I always say SSR, I need to add Broadcom to my quote board. Yeah, Broadcom did a day-long trend break. That's the one you're looking for. Like in the afternoon, that's one of the better looks. When you've been trending down, like you have all of the lower highs that you connect from the open are just lined up, and then you get a clean break of the trend. But I never had Broadcom on my, I'll add to the quote board now. We always say this, Broadcom doesn't get traded enough, and they had the split, so that should make it much better. We didn't trade it because it used to be like ridiculously high price. So let's see what happened in here. What was it? Because I said the one thing I still wanted to fade was Walmart. This came right back into where I trailed out. I guess maybe it's a little bit of fate, and is popping a little bit here. So the local high where I trailed is like 83.67-ish. I always throw a stop first. I want to throw a stop above, see it get maybe back into the 40s and 50s, and see if we can't pick up a fill on Walmart. Just want to join back into this trend. Because I don't believe you. When the market was bouncing, this was still going to the downside. So if we can continue the trend in here, try to keep it relatively simple on Walmart. Don't make me chase. Bounce even a little bit. Maybe we can get something in the 30s. Come on, Walmart. You can do it. All right, maybe not. Maybe we have to go to the 20s. I just went down to 25, and it goes to 22.
Yeah, this is the problem with today. The market goes up, goes down, and at the end of the day, it's kind of in the same spot again. So I'm going to go long the TQs here off the 50-period moving average. So it's right here right now. We just wicked a little bit lower into 75 there. I feel like that could be our new low. Oh, yeah, we're long 88s. So we'll wait to see if it does want to bounce back up. That's 41. Let's put the stop in right now. 41.69. That low was 78. We can give it a little bit more room on that as we are now long at 41.88. 69. So we'll give this a little bit more room. We'll get something out here if it can go back up into the right here. Oh, let me put my fills back on so you guys can see that. Are there any other names? I mean, obviously, you know, we've gone through some of this. Someone had 3,000 shares and lost $30. That's great. That's like a fee. All right. So yeah, the retest will happen. Maybe down there. I see some people talking about that. This is just the NASDAQ, right? We saw Shopify actually get killed pretty good there yesterday. Wasn't it down 17% or something, Shopify yesterday? Wow. Yeah, look at this. This was at $100. This was, wow, Shopify, oh, Canada, yes. Why is my chart not working? Oh, it went to the NASDAQ. So Shopify moved over. So actually, hold on a second. I'm going to have to call it up on the, am I right on that? Shopify used to be a New York name, I believe. Right, Adara? I believe so too, that Shopify had moved over. But at the end of the, so that's why our chart won't show that move. But wow, what another name, man. I mean, this is okay. We're starting to go up now in the futures. So I'm gonna take another piece out here in the 30s if we can. We're long at 88s. But Shopify, another stock that has absolutely killed over the last little while there. I guess retail, you know, they have those little square payment things as well that you can tap off on and like that. But Shopify, nice move down as I guess small businesses getting hit, right? I mean, this tariff talk, like if you're shipping around and getting in cheaper products, a lot of Shopify's business are small retail, you know, stay-at-home businesses. All right, here, I want to put this back on customization because we don't have our fills up again. So, all right, here we go, man. We're in the futures. It's starting to go again. Nothing ever seems to want to work for us. So here's where we got in and out of the short, which is fine. Now we're back long again. We got stopped out of a little bit. We'll go back into that and we'll see if we can. Last time we bounced off of here. So let's get some more out as we make that run up. I just offered 49s, which means that it might be the top. Okay, there it is. We got filled. So good. Now we'll let to see if this one wants to go. Maybe this does go into the close. You did show some of those imbalances there as no. Well, FXI is gone. They got a little lower there. SPY still is sell. Nothing on NASDAQ yet. So that's on NASDAQ because we only have NYSE up so far. It's not that bad. I don't know. These aren't huge numbers right now. So maybe there is some. Thankfully, it's not the third Friday. There's no expiration except for weekly options. Yeah. And of course, 0-day options expiry. If a lot of traders are maybe trading 0-day options short, so you know there'll have to be a cover maybe at the end of the day, which is potentially what we're seeing right now even. Like Neil and I keep mentioning, there's really nothing blasting off in my ear right now about anything. So I don't know what this...
I'm not hearing much of anything.
Yeah, so we're lucky enough to have Adara there. So if there is anything that hits on the board, we'll have that. So here's another out right there. We just took a 59. This is literally, as my kids say, literally where we bounced or dropped from last time. So a take of this, then maybe we get something like... I don't know, just looking at the chart, maybe we get something in around here, 43.20. I don't know, but pretty sloppy trading today on the TQs. Again, the reason why we have so many outs, okay, so boom. I can celebrate this, whatever, man, but at the end of the day, we have so many outs that just looks chaos. And the reason why is because, again, with the violent moves here, I'm scalping as much as I can with trying to hold on to a piece. So... that's what we're doing now. We have about 50% left of this position, actually a little bit more than that. So let's take another piece out and see if we do get that run into the close. We still have NASDAQ imbalances to come. Maybe there is some relief. People want to buy the dips into Monday. I don't know. I don't see that logic, but...
I can see shorts wanting to cover. I can see
and that's
anything on trend where they want to cover. That makes sense to me. If the trend is down, then covering at the end of the weekend means the other direction. So it plays in both ways. Someone just said, here, I'll go over to Walmart first because I can exemplify the point. I don't want to flip Walmart. I'll get out if it breaks. It's Walmart. It's Amazon that I want long. Like if we break out that prior high where I trailed before, like I'm short that curl, I'm giving it to that top. It just barely didn't break it now, so my stop's in place. But it's Amazon I want long. I don't necessarily want to be, hey, let's just see if we get the bottom on a weak stock. I'd much rather try to get a trend with a strong stock, which is crazy because you could really just be in GameStop for whatever reason. But I wanted Amazon here off of VWAP. We're probably not going to get it. I can accept that. It's now 324. You're running a little close to those imbalances actually coming out. So I might have to look at where we broke from, like 74, and step it up a little bit here. But this market does seem to want to do a little bit of a retracement. I know we're down 5%, but PPT could just be a little bit late, or it could be that people want to make sure they take some profit in case deals get done across the weekend. Let me double check what NVIDIA is doing. Like maybe that's actually setting up. Oh, NVIDIA is setting up pretty decently above VWAP. Right, if there's no dip in Amazon, NVIDIA has really broken the trend and has a decent chance to break some support here if it can hold above VWAP. So it's that or Amazon that I can try to get for sure. What was? Oh, I
if he is dancing like that, if he is dancing like that right now, then
I saw my program monitor. There it is.
There it is.
Yeah. Where's that from?
Apparently, it's from Saturday Night Live. He was on their first term.
I'll cop to having said I didn't actually see that when it came out. Then.
Yeah, he hosted Saturday Night Live.
Oh, there goes Amazon.
Yeah,
we should have held the first short because the second one has
up or down?
Out. It just went up.
Okay.
Amazon's catching a bid. So just to keep one thing in mind for Amazon, if you're watching, the breakdown price that we had the first short, that is the 200 period on the daily chart. So the daily was it's just underneath 84 technically. So that's a support area. When you're looking at, if you're looking at moving averages on a daily, the fact that it's at like 83, like 70 something or 80 something doesn't really matter. Effectively, closing above 84, that's a big spot, and it would be a good bottoming tail candle for Walmart. And for those that asked, I did not buy more Walmart today. I've already bought, like a lot of things, I've already bought this quarter. There's no chance you're going to catch me being overly aggressive buying dips. If I bought a stock in the quarter, I'm just not buying it immediately again. That's the idea. If we're in an upward trend, I don't mind being more aggressive. But the second you start lose the 50-period moving average, lose the 200-period moving average, I believe we're in a bit of a downward trend at that point, and I do not want to get trapped. So that's just my 2 cents and how I like to do things. Walmart I do like, and I do want to have a bigger position in Walmart than I do in my personal account. I just don't know if the time is right, especially when you're losing support as we speak. So NVIDIA's starting to run into resistance. If I was feeling short, maybe I'd be in it. But I don't have a setup here for it just being underneath VWAP with this upward trending market. I'm looking for a long. I need it holding above VWAP and trying to break out. GME, I don't even understand why this thing is doing what it's doing, but it just made another fresh high. I don't wonder if there's your top. Like if you just hold the trend for a last trade, where's the high on here? Like there's nothing on GameStop till like 25, 24.80. Maybe I'll throw it up. I don't have another stock. I usually want to track 4 or 5 stocks, and then that's pretty much it. And then hopefully only execute 1 or 2 at a time. I'll throw GameStop up. If it wants to hold this trend line, there's enough time for there to be one more bounce and get to the high. There's no overhead resistance or anything like that on GME. Mean Gene wants me to look at MSTR. It's hard to look at everything. You can't really look at everything. I just want to find things that are set up as a simple trade. Like I want it to be binary. Like you're trending down, you bounce, you break that little upward trend, go short, stop at the prior high, and that's simple. If I can't find a trade that's that simple, I'm not making trades. And I said this before, like if it's not a really simplistic plan, then you shouldn't try to do it. Especially on a day like today where you're going to get whipsaw action. And I do suspect there might be something going on with the SPY at the close. It is pairing off a bit like FXI is, but there's a decent chance that this could grow. And if we're, like right now, we're back to underneath $1 billion. It's only $900 million worth imbalance to the downside on the S&P here, like the ETF. But if that gets, there you go, it just spiked up, and now back over $1 billion, 1.1. This comes out as 5 or larger, there's going to be a scalp trade that's been done in the past. Just haven't seen this in a while. So I want to be nimble enough that I'm not sitting around worrying about something else and 350 hits and it's like, oh, you should be trading the SPY. But you don't see this very often, and this has been a while since you've seen over $1 billion on a singular imbalance here on the SPY. That's what I want to pay attention to. I'm just going to say this out loud. A dare of people are asking about Ford. I don't know why anyone's asking about Ford in the chat. I don't think there's any news on Ford. Like everything else, and we get a lot of questions like, why is this stock up? Why is this stock down? I'm not sure why Ford is catching a little bit of a bid here. It's trending up. What's GM doing? Let's see. I think GM's better than Ford, but yeah, same chart. Yeah, they're both. It could just look. We're rallying a little bit. You know that the auto names, when it comes to the tariffs, are a bit of a bucket of their own. At least that's what it's been. So there's always a chance that simply they're just getting a relief rally as a group. They're both. It gets down GM 3%. Well, I don't think anything crazy is happening. It hasn't broken out the highs. You've just been range bound, sitting inside of the range the entire day. You've traveled the range, but you've just sat inside the range. And it's the names that are under pressure more recently, right? Like your retailers of the world are getting hit more. Big cap tech, as people rotate out, is getting hit more. They've already had their moment, I feel, as if we had our panic moment, I think, already with the autos. And so maybe there's just a little bit of exhaustion in the selling. That would be a guess. Andre meant Ford, not F. You mean like Ford Industries? Yeah, I got nothing for you on Ford Industries. That thing moves? Apparently so. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Ford Industries. I don't know this company, but I know it's a small cap. We've seen it before. I just don't know anything about them. 45% to the upside. Look at the volume, completely stagnant. In the time that I've called it up, and it's been a few seconds now, there isn't even a single print on the tape since I called this thing up. So I would venture to say there's a nothing burger outside of the fact that it seems to be up 45% for whatever reason. Yeah, I just don't think it's much of a thing. Amazon doesn't want to pull back. Don't know if we're going to be able to get into that long. As I said, I'd rather be long a strong stock than anything else. Oh, Casey, good question. Yeah, good question here, Casey. Does the 505.59 auction price mean anything on that SPY imbalance? And you're talking about this? At this moment, no. Because when you think about all the data that you see in here is if they had to take all of the orders that they have going into the auction for the close, and as of now, if they had to print it now, this is what it would be. So all that means is if they had to print it now, they would print it at 506.63, but they're not printing it now. So it's kind of telling you something that you already know. So it's a 1.9 million sell imbalance. So what do you expect? If they had to print it now, it would be down, right? But that's just common sense. If it's a huge imbalance and they had to close it right now, of course it would swipe the book and take it down. That's all that means, really. And it could mean something right before the close, right before the auction print, but it's not that big of information. It can help you understand the significance of how big that size is, but I think we understand that $1 billion to sell at 332 has some significance. So yeah, it's just how far it would take it down if they had to execute it right here. But there's always more liquidity at the close than there is at 332. So it just seems extreme.
And it will get paired off.
Well, that's the other thing.
Like, it's not, right, like, that's just sitting there for now. What happened to Stream Deck? Are we down on Stream? There we go. I just want to hit the siren because finally we're starting to make a little bit of a move back up there. We were like, excuse me, the lowest I saw was 577. And we talked about that when it was on there. And then we kind of made fun that when we came back on air right here, like all we've done is done this. And my net has basically stayed the exact same. Just way too many trades. I was just thinking about it, man. I was just like, to be down on the day is one thing, which is fine. I don't, we're here to trade and, we'll make good trades, we'll make some bad trades. But over trading, I think, is a completely other thing. And we over traded. So needless to say, this is how obsessed we got. Look at Palantir today. I have one opportunity on it, and then I left it alone. Google today. This was okay. We chased. Well, not okay. We lost. But there we go. We tried to get that bottom, and eventually it pumped back up, and then we left that alone. NVIDIA. NVIDIA was actually a good stock for me today. There's no doubt about that. We bought that early dip into 96, brought that up to 98 again, retried it, left it alone. Now we're breaking. Let's go, futures. Let's go. This is a big move here for me, thankfully. Wow, made back a decent amount there as the future's starting to go there. Palantir, we talked about it, and then Tesla, same way. It's kind of like we just made a mess of everything, and then look at this TQQs when I show this to you. I mean, littered with trades, but right now happy to see this move higher, man. We still got on a decent amount, so this is a good trade here for us as bang, bang, Spin it finally. All right, the long finally hitting right now for the upside. We said that it would be a frustrating day, and it has been for sure, but at least we caught this move back there to the upside. I still, Neil, like, I'm glad you mentioned that Amazon thing. Like, when I saw that thing, and I know we both had sort of different reads on it, it doesn't matter who was right or wrong, because I don't think Amazon did anything to this market, but that was just interesting. Those are the things that like Neil and I want to look for and bring to your attention as much as possible, which is why sometimes you'll hear me say, oh my God, look at that size there, stuff like that, because it's like, it's important. See, and I'm hitting keys, so I'm getting out more on the TQs now, which maybe I shouldn't. It's important to try to figure out the market mechanics and what, you know, what that means when certain things happen to stock. And again, like Neil said, on average, I mean, we think we both were looking at it and talking about it. I wasn't looking at it, but talking about it down there at like 173. So that was what, 100,000 shares, like, or more?
Well, I actually couldn't tell the exact number because they crossed into the book.
Right.
So really, like they filled all the offers for like 30 or 40 cents and then posted and were instantly filled.
This is aggressive.
All I could tell is that it was huge. I couldn't tell how big an order it was on Amazon. I just knew that it was huge. That's all. And now all of a sudden you're at those highs.
Maybe that was Joe. Maybe he bought some call options over
there. The other thing that's happening is you're getting a pair off on the SPY. So that's actually going to the downside. Remember that auction price that was down at 506 all the way up to 508. So you're actually seeing this in real time reflect the buying that's going on. It's still a sell imbalance. Gut tells me it's not going to be a sell imbalance when the imbalance is hit at this point. Not with the rally that we're having. That's just a gut based on the way that it's trending. And FXI is still there, but remember, FXI is 33 bucks. That's a very smaller, much smaller imbalance compared to the SPY. Let's go back to Adara.
I looked into this forward industry stock that was asked about in the chat. I think it's worth noting, not a lot of volume on this, about 430,000 shares, but big move, 45% to the upside. I could not find any news on this, but again, I think the float is pretty important here, 790,000 share float. Not much traded on the day, though, today for FORD. Back to you.
Pants on again there. I thought that was Ford moving up.
I made the same.
I was like, Ford moved up 45%.
I'm like, Ford Industries. We've seen it before, but.
Here we go. See, David, I think this is the right thing to do. I think, why pay anybody for this? My goldfish named Greenspan is picking my stocks. I think that's probably going to have a couple winners there, I would think. I put a ticker and food on each side of the tank. This reminds me of like the NCAA picks or the Super Bowl picks where they put dog food or something, and they put like a team logo there, and whatever bowl the dog goes to is going to win. But his puts are fire today. Not one miss. Well, David, man, tweet at us on Monday. Let us know what this fish is choosing here, and maybe we'll look to trade some of that on Monday. What goes up must come down, Darren. I don't know if there was just news, but right here, the market just puked all over itself one more time. There it is. So again, getting out near these tops. We talked about that, you know, that we were getting up into these levels, right into there. So there it goes. It's a nice move downside now for the market, and you could definitely chart this market using eSignal, right, Neil?
You absolutely can, everybody. And the most important thing is you can do it for the first month for free.
Wow.
And with the way things might go in this battle, maybe you're going to want some things that are free. They're waiving fees for 1 month so you can trade smarter, not harder, on a highly customizable and user-friendly platform with reliable data on any all the markets you can imagine, access to pretty much every indicator you can also imagine, back testing, forward testing, tick replay, tick charts, everything you want. Level 2, they have an imbalance locator, so when we're talking about the imbalances, you've got access to that as well. API, so you can automate trades. And as I said, back testing and forward testing, so you can test the strategies before you execute trades. And you can connect to most brokers. Well, I should say many brokers.
50 plus.
Yeah, 50 plus. I shouldn't say most, because I don't know the number for real. I just know it's a ton of brokers you connect to and trade directly through eSignal. I mean, heck, I have a level 2. Not that I use it because we have a level 2 in Pre-Pro 8, but I have level 2 up right now of Amazon, so you could have seen that swipe of the book.
There it is,
in real time. I don't know why I have a monthly chart. Oh, I do remember why I have a monthly chart of Amazon, because I was considering like where it looks really good on the monthly for Amazon next, and that's where the 150 area started to come in. I hate saying things like that, but in the market that we're in, I always start looking. I go from looking at daily and weekly charts to weekly and monthly charts. So I always take an extra step back when the market gets a little bit more volatile. Let's go right on back to Adara.
UAL at day's highs. SpaceX and United are reportedly launching an alliance expected to win the U.S. Space Force launch contracts worth billions of dollars. Reuters reporting this here. So again, UAL teaming up with SpaceX reportedly to win this U.S. Space Force contract valued at billions of dollars. Also, I'm hearing in my ear that apparently the U.S. has issued some guidance on these tariffs announced on April 2nd. That'll be going into effect on April 5th. Back to you.
Yeah, I think me and Neil just talking about it. I think that swipe up there on Amazon was probably a TikTok play or a play that went wrong for somebody, or they were covering a big short or something. I don't.
Here's my question.
Because there's so much volume in the market.
If they get TikTok, let's just say it happens over the weekend. I'm not saying it will, but let's just say they do.
I don't know if that's that good.
How do you think that's enough, given the market conditions, for Amazon to, at least get back to the 200 period?
How far of a move would that be?
That's a big move.
No, I don't think TikTok is that.
That's a big move.
Thing is, ByteDance, look, we know that ByteDance out of nowhere became this huge company, so I guess there's going to be tons of... I don't even know how the TikTok model works right now, and I guess, are there ads? I don't have a TikTok account. I guess it's similar to Instagram, where it shows ads every once in a while. I don't know, Fabian, you tell me. Okay, so that's how...
The thing that I love for the deal for them, as I was saying,
the links.
On Instagram, when you buy, they're sending you somewhere else to buy. On TikTok, you are buying directly from TikTok. So as a shareholder in Amazon,
what do you mean you're buying
Walmart,
directly from TikTok?
You don't leave TikTok.
You
don't. That's the advantage. Well, so I've been told. I don't use TikTok myself, but I just think it's a great advantage. It would be great for Walmart or Amazon. That's all. I like both stocks. Currently, the one I've been intending on dip buying was Walmart. But as I said, I think I would, if it happens, I think I would switch that at least temporarily in the short term to Amazon. I think that would be good. Look, with 9 minutes to go to the imbalances. Right. Probably might wait for an imbalance trade. And there's also the point that maybe, as you said, that buyer that we saw, maybe they're just let's take a shot, and if good news happens, why not? It was a good whale buy. I think obviously I read it wrong. I was looking for them to be stuck and try and grab the short. Hey, look at me. Amazon's upward trending, and I just have 2 shorts on it today. But everything I want to be sniper, but you could have sniped that in the other direction. What else are you guys talking about? Tesla, another fail? Oh, come on. Don't tell me Tesla. Yeah, Tesla is holding underneath VWAP. I know it's 9% down, but what isn't at this point? What isn't at this point? You can say Tesla, another fail, but then I could show you NVIDIA and then tell you the same thing too. NVIDIA is pretty much the exact same chart on the 15-minute. Fail, like a W pattern. I got to get past that wick. There you go. Failing at the same resistance level at 96. Tesla's doing the same thing. You're just not getting any clarity past that. I think it gives you a trade if there's an imbalance on NVIDIA or Tesla. Right? If we get a buy imbalance, then you could have a flip off this number here. If we get a buy imbalance, and let's just say we get to 355, I'd look for that to pair off and then try the reversal trade off resistance. Generally, that's what I like once we get close to 350. Miss Lucia, Finabachi's. We are at the 382 fib retracement on the daily. If that is good, and you have trades that work off Fibonacci levels, I say Finabachi because Sharif has a joke about it, then more power to you. I have tried using them in the past. It was years ago. It was when I started out as a penny stock trader, so I tried using them because other people did, and it just never worked for me, so I just stopped. And if you have an indicator, it should be because it works for you and not because somebody else says it's cool. But if you have something that is an indicator that you have back tested, that you have forward tested, that you have an execution plan off of, as long as you've got an edge, trade your edge. It doesn't really matter what it is. And don't let anybody else tell you, just because I don't use it, heck do I know? It just means I'm no good at using Fibonacci's, that's all.
Yeah, and it's good advice. I mean, yeah, if something's working for you, keep doing it until it doesn't, basically. And some days they won't work for you, and some days they will. But understand them all at the end of the day, and that's it. We have lessons up. We have a couple videos up actually recently of different moving averages. Go check those out. We're not releasing anything this weekend, I don't think, but on that front. But definitely check out all of our socials, man. Whether or not it be our YouTube channel, TikTok, just on Instagram. Everything gets released on Instagram anyways, so you can go check that out at Trader TV Live. And hit those links up. You'll find all the links to all the videos there as well, and on YouTube. If you go to our YouTube page, there's it's well laid out there. You can find all that. moving averages, VWAP, things like that, basic kind of talk early. There's a big imbalance video that we had done before. Maybe we'll redo that one. And we're working on a few new things as well. So we're very excited to keep sort of the momentum going, right? I mean, more traders want more education, and I think that that's something that we could definitely do, if not show some decent trade opportunities, and we're trying to do that here today by holding on to right now some of this. I did want to look at gold again here. So it's only down 2.5%. I mean, in a day when everything's been really destroyed, gold down 2. All right, on the day here, you know, we had a bad day there yesterday. This is going to be a day, not a bad day, but a red day there yesterday. And we talked about it possibly being some doji stars up here where like you had that island gap and then you gapped higher through that. And then now you've made these highs in and around 290. So again, like, I don't think anything is saved today. We almost went limit down. There's big worry, obviously, in the market as we keep talking about it as well. You know, how is this going to affect Russia? How is this going to affect China? Like, all these tariffs that are coming through. Like, obviously, I didn't see tariffs being hit on Russia. There's already no trade there with Russia. So, like, people were talking conspiracy with that. Like, why is there nothing there for Russia? Well, I don't think, like McDonald's, like all these companies already are not conducting business over there. So
they already left.
Yeah, I don't know if that's exactly the story there, but yeah, that was my thoughts on that. All right, we're getting some more out here. We only have now 4 minutes. We can have a quick little look on the imbalances just to have a, again, there's nothing here. We're going to wait for the NASDAQ.
GDX.
This is going to be hard for me to show you, but it's better on Neil's. I'm just going to make this bigger, but FXI is a buy, so that's China, 3 million. GDX is a buy of 2 million. SPY is still a sell of 1.6 million. No, I could just, here, this is so easy for me to do. I just have to go into here. Yeah, it's very, very easy. Go to font there, go to set font and go bigger. So we'll go to Adara and I'll get this fixed. What's up, Adara?
I thought you had a big one.
I looked into it with regards to Russia being left off of U.S.'s trade list. According to White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, the reason for that was because apparently U.S. sanctions already, quote, preclude any meaningful trade. So U.S. and Russia do trade, and Russia very much could have been included on the list. But again, as Caroline Leavitt said here, apparently sanctions actually remove a lot of relevant or meaningful trade to the point where the U.S. did not feel the need to include Russia on the list. So they did actually include some countries like Mauritius and Brunei, who apparently they actually trade with a little bit less than Russia. So interesting note there. Just wanted to provide some clarity back to you.
Oh my God, yeah. So that's what the word I was looking for was sanctions. So thank you for that one there, Adara. But look what just happened there. Like we talk about this market, like we didn't have very many shares, obviously, as we talked about getting out. We just got out at 50, and then it just dropped 80 cents. Right there again. So that was just like, whoops, there's the market, whoop, all the way back down in there into the close. So we were cruising, man. We were only down 4.5%, 4.2%. Now get down another 1% right there instantly on that market. So there's the drop down. We are now flat, and I'm fine to be flat. I'm happy to be flat right there. We were able to get out a bunch up here, which is good enough for me. And then that stop, that was the one thing that I didn't get to talk to you guys about just because we were talking about other things. I just wanted to stop out right there if we had broke below some of these areas where we had gotten out in the past. So that was a good trade for us to get stopped there. Happy to do that. So there it goes, man. Flattened and now out. Remember where our long was. We were still long at 41.90. So that's still 80 handles. We'll take the rest out there, which is why I looked over and was like, whoa, my net is still fine. It's because we were so far in the money. So that was a good one there. We don't like that stop out, but there it goes, man. Yeah, moves down. We'll watch out for FXI and see if that can do anything. Remember that was a bid?
GDX is there too. GDX
yeah,
is also a buy.
Yeah, FXI. They're both buys, so we'll have to watch out.
The SPY imbalance actually dropped a little bit on that move. So, yeah, that little move that we had in the futures down just now, it wasn't the, oh, wait a minute, there it goes. It was back underneath 2 million. Now it's back up to 2.4 million. So it actually did get bigger here on the SPY. Yeah, if this does come out larger than the number we see here, like it's a shock because anybody can see this that has the SIP. And they get the market data in here. We have it in P Pro 8. Lots of other people have access to it. It just pared back down to 1.1. So it's flying all over the place because we're getting close to 350. So you'll see a lot more jumping around. But now down to 1.1 million. I am not completely convinced it's going to come out huge to the sell side when you are that big. Tracy France, what is the TP? You know what? You got me. I actually don't know what this column is. So, well, I'm not going to pretend to make up some answers.
Type. Remember it was.
But I don't know. But I don't know what the certain things mean.
Yeah,
it's
like,
type, but I don't remember.
See, maybe it's closed.
I might have known at some point and just have forgotten it over the years because it doesn't matter to me. I care about the size. I care about the paired volume. I care about the direction. Mostly, I don't look at the auction price. With about 5 seconds to go, imbalances are about to hit. Let's see if anything comes out big.
All right, here we go.
I saw Amazon sell 2 million. NVIDIA, 7 million to sell on NVIDIA. That doesn't seem like it's good. Intel, that's only 3 million.
Well,
so sells on NVIDIA, sells on Amazon, sell on Broadcom, 2 million to the downside. That SPY still exactly what it was before.
Wow,
1.9 million.
NVIDIA.
That is a hefty sell imbalance.
Look at
that you
NVIDIA.
are seeing. Shoot, I had the SPY. See, I guessed wrong. I had SPY up instead. But NVIDIA, yep, there it goes. There's your wick. I was kind of hoping it would come out of buy so you could fade into resistance, but it came out of sell on NVDA.
What?
Intel just grew to 3.5 million. FXI, that's a buy at 3.5, but it's only cheap,
NVIDIA.
so that's not that big. Those are the big three. Amazon, NVIDIA, and Broadcom are the biggest sells. Intel's notionally not that big of a deal.
All right, we'll try NVIDIA short right now. We let it settle down a little bit. I mean, the levels are wild. Like the volume, everything. Like NVIDIA just dropped right there. Like, this is what I'm saying about people that have, it's not, you know, we talked about the market not being fair. You guys already know that. It was exposed, obviously, during GameStop and all that, you know, like, so it's just when you see the TQQs do something like this out of nowhere, and I'm just like, what was that? Not just me, all of us were like, okay. You know, and then this happens where NVIDIA sells and then the market comes at 350 and takes another leg down. We just got the number there from Adara, 3.7 billion to sell. The NASDAQ alone, 2 billion to sell. The Dow, the Mag 7, everything in the billions here. So yeah, no surprise when you start seeing something like this. And I just like shake my head and be like, okay, of course, someone knew something and someone made a hell of a lot of money off of that, probably, just getting jiggy with it right there as the market goes down. We don't have to say do something. Oh, that almost hit it dead directly there. The market is definitely doing something there, Fabian. It's going down right now and getting even lower. So we'll take some more outs there on NVIDIA. It probably pairs off. So, you know, we're only going to run this up until, I don't know if it's a trap or not, but it might be. NVIDIA there, so here it comes. We'll take another short. If this runs 95, which it's going to do, then we'll get stopped out. We're just trying this just to see. So it looks like we are going to get stopped out on this trade. I told you the levels were completely wild on this. We're short at 70s here. Completely fine. Just waiting to see what winds up happening with NVIDIA here, short 70s, as it looks like it wants to run the top again. Where the 200 period's at 40, we can put some bids out there, see if we get a fill. But at the end of the day, this looks like just a little fun trade here to see what this market wants to do at close. It looks like it's okay, trying to hold out there. Intel with the sell, BAC, Vale. We talked about Broadcom. Look at that, it's heading to the downside again. There's your Amazon. Like everything, like this move on Amazon is a daily move. Like, what's the average daily move here on that ADR, average daily range?
Destroyed any ADRs.
Yeah, no, of course today, but I just mean just in the last 10 minutes, Amazon moved down $4 in the last 10 minutes. So it's kind of like, you know, this is just what this market is right now. So we actually get another fill right there at 50, so good for us. I don't know,
yeah, I don't think there's going to be there might be a reversion trade here, but like NVIDIA's holding at 6 million.
Damn those penguins.
To the sell side, holding the 6 million. I'm not really paying attention to Intel. At this point, it's like, does NVIDIA pair off or does it not? Just before we go to, let's go to Adara and we'll come back and we'll get to you, David.
We're going to talk here, thank our friends at Trade the Pool in just a minute, but also worth noting, we just posted our Trader TV live earnings and events calendar for April 7th to 11th, 2025. So next week, we're going to get Walgreens, Boots Alliance, Tilray earnings, Levi earnings, Dave & Buster's earnings, CarMax, and of course on Friday, Alti's Bank earnings. Friday, though, also brings PPI, month-over-month and year-over-year, and the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment. We'll get CPI coming through on Thursday. So lots of economic data and earnings in the back half of next week. But before we send you back to the guys, we're going to take a moment to thank our friends at trade the pool. Sorry about that there. We all know the saying, big opportunity comes with big risk. But what if that wasn't true anymore? Trade the pool is redefining what risk means for traders. No more risking your life savings to prove yourself in the market. They give you access to company capital, up to $200,000 to trade real stocks, no CFTs, and your downside is limited to a single one-time fee that starts at just $47. That means no blowing up your personal account. You get to trade with serious buying power, all while knowing your loss is capped. Trade the Pool now offers an unlimited time during the evaluation, so you get the freedom to trade your way with no time pressure. Visit tradethepool.com and see how far your $47 can take you. Back to you guys.
All right, so we just got, NVIDIA bank, let's go.
3 million still.
Yeah, so we're short it, man. We take some offers there. I'll take some bids, sorry, as it comes back in because we're short, so we got to bid out of this trade. So there it is, man. NVIDIA's still there as a sell. We have Vale twice. I don't know why. Oh, because I don't have the thing blocked, so I got to get rid of brokers.
But it also came out exactly as expected.
Right, okay, so we'll get
like
rid
to
of
know
it.
that.
Yeah, there it is. So, yeah, Broadcom, Amazon still a sell, NVIDIA still a sell, TLTs there with the Treasury down, but up today, but down on that sell imbalance as well. We don't have gold or anything on here. This is what's going on the greater market, the Amex market, not the greater one, but where SPY is right there. Still 1.3 million to sell. You can see it's changing, and FXI still has that bid underneath it as well. So, yeah, that's what's happening right there in the market. Where's gold? Did I see gold there? No. So no gold exposure right here for the imbalances. But yeah, what a day, man. Thank you so much for joining us. NVIDIA looks like it wants to get flat-ish around here, 94.50. Like, it doesn't seem to want to move. We're short at 94.80, so we'll make a little bit of money here at the end of the day. We actually just got some good fills down there. 94.25s was our best fill. And if it breaks out there, yeah, the Q 0 day, yeah, 0 day expiry there. What's up, Andy? Yeah, that's probably what's sending this market reeling as the TQQs.
6%.
Look at this.
6%.
The market, I didn't even realize we're back at the day's low again.
6% down.
So thank you for that, Andy. Like, why the heck is NVIDIA not even going lower than where it is right now is what I want to know. Yeah, we should have just shorted the market again. See, like, so I picked stock.
I don't even want to look at Walmart. Yeah, Walmart's back to 83.
Whatever, this is winning trades, so I don't really care.
Wow.
But,
Walmart's back to low 5%. It's obviously been a bit of a bloodbath. No questions asked, but it's one of those types of days. We keep talking about it. If you have extra time over the weekend and you're interested in trying to see what it looked like in 2021 and 2008, you go back and look at some charts and have an idea of what those pullbacks were like. The good news is this time, any deals get made over the weekend, and we can be 5% up plus, be even bigger than that on Monday. So it's one of those keep your ear to the ground. It's just a different scenario here when it's not like a big foundational. Like it's not like the credit. It's not like the Greek credit crisis. It's not like the housing bubble bursting. You could have tariffs go off, and then suddenly things look a bit good. All right, I got my order for that.
Someone made 20 tires. Who was that? Yo, what's up, Video News, man? Yeah, congratulations there. Thanks for a great week. You're welcome, Video News. Thanks for joining us every day, or as much as you can. Yeah. Great, we made 20 tires this week, so mostly Qs. And Nike. Yeah, well, Nike's been an absolutely great stock there. Penguins, yeah, here we go, David. At least those greedy penguins, right, get to pay 10% there. Yeah, I don't know what penguins eat exactly, but it became more expensive for them. Yeah, some kind of fish, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing else for them to eat.
I'm just trying to think, like, I'm just trying to make like a joke about tariffs, but.
Right, I got to run to the desk.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, go kill it there. You'll see the after.
For the look, because we're going to see the movie tomorrow.
Yeah, it should be a good movie. You're very lucky to see that for the first time. I think it's going to be good. Yeah, thank you also, BGZ, right there. See, I said Z for you guys. BGZ right there. Thank you so much. Learned so much over the last couple of years. We're glad that you're on this journey with us here. All right, Adara, quickly with news, I guess, right here at the close.
Yeah, we have news at the close. META on watch. I'm seeing the story circulate around X, not seeing who reported it, but Meta apparently planning a data center project in Wisconsin valued at almost $1 billion. So META on watch taking into the close, reportedly planning an almost $1 billion data center project in Wisconsin. Back to you.
Being held out there. Oh, Wisconsin. Hey. There we go, man. Shout out to Wisconsin right there, and shout out to everybody. Thank you again for having such a great week with us, and thank you to everybody there in the chat. We want to thank everybody for joining us once again. We're getting out some more NVIDIA right now at this level of 94.35. So there it is, nice move. Come back in, man. We have a little piece left here. Oh, shoot, there's only 30 seconds left right now. So we're on NVIDIA. Just now, 20 seconds to go. I'm going to put a bid in the low 20s for that and see if we can get that fill. What's up, Ram? Okay, so I don't have to hit it. So let me see if this goes on. Right, okay, so 10. Yeah, perfect, good. 8, 7, it's working. It's right there. Thank you, Ramin, for that. Man, you guys are earning your keep. 3, 2, and 1. There we go. Great. Again, like, that's what we're all about over here. Closing the market today. Get this cheese head off my head. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. What a wild day today. Hopefully, we'll trade just as much on, a little less on Monday, but hopefully just as many positions. And you guys can enjoy it. Enjoy your weekend, no matter what you guys are doing. I think if you have kids and they like Minecraft, you should go check it out. So thank you to everybody. Thank you, Bears versus Bulls. And I think that everybody in the chat should also give a big shout out to Bears versus Bulls. I mean, all the work that this guy does for us and for all, not just for us, man, for all of you out there as well. Keeping the chat clean and safe and everything. We really do appreciate that. So throw some ones up there in the chat. I'll start it right there for Bears versus Bulls, because I want to say a big shout out. I know with this kind of market, the market's going crazy. It's very hard to keep track with everything. So there we go, man. Yeah, I don't want to shout out the Bears too much, but I do want to shout out Bears v Bulls. Great day. If you were short, congratulations. We're still in some NVIDIA right now, so we've got this. We're going to get out as we go. There it is. Look at the love there in the chat. Won't even stop. So thank you so much to everybody. It's Adara and Neil now on the recap. Thanks, Fabian, Joe, everybody today. Obi for the big week. Ramin, Brendo, Adara, of course. Neil, I mean, we've already thank Neil. And everybody that contributed to the Super Chats, we want to say a big shout out to you as well. Thank you so much for all your contributions. Have a great weekend as much as you can with this kind of a market, and we'll see everybody. The NASDAQ is now down 6.2%. It's going lower here in the after hours. NASDAQ now down 6.2%. Stay with us in this recap show, because maybe we get 7% after hours. It won't matter, but it'd be fun. All right, Neil, let's go.
Welcome, everybody, to the ProfitX recap show. And as Sean mentioned, the NASDAQ is broken fresh lows once again. It is an absolute sea of red today after the big sell-offs. China retaliates and everything basically flushed. There weren't many places to hide. Oddly enough, one of them happened to be GME, because Ryan Cohen increased his stake in the company. So that ended up being pretty good. If you were in the long on that one, shout out to everyone that happened to be. But most of the money that you could have made today was going to be on the short side of the trade. I could look at the SPY, I could look at the Qs like we have up here. You could look at basically every ETF out there, Adara. It was bleeding, bleeding, bleeding. We're going to go over some of them individually, no questions asked. But it's a unique situation. I can tell you right now, oftentimes, and I know like it's not fun when we're down this much, and you hear like traders can get like excitement around this. It's because the volatility that, you know, things like 2020 brought, or 2008 brought. Like, most traders will tell you that they would have had their best years during those times. And understandably, it's never a fun feeling, because you'd go home after having good days and everyone's talking about how much their dinner table and whatnot and your friends, how bad it's been. But as a trader, you're like, well, you can go short. So understandably, this is not good. It feels like it's the start of something different here, Adara, with the retaliatory tariffs.
Yeah, and I want to thank Bears vs. Bulls for everything they do as well, or everything he does, because I know Sean shouted him out at the end of the day. I want to second that. A great moderator for this awesome community. But there were some things that were not necessarily as weak. We had RH, this Restoration Hardware, casually having a midday volatility hold. When we had, and again, I want to clarify what this story was. There was some talk that maybe the Cambodia reports they were lowering their tariffs is what led these retail names to the upside. It was not. These retail names bounced around 11 a.m. after Charles Gasparino on X, he does not work for Fox, to my understanding, but he is a frequent contributor to Fox Business. Same thing you'll get with analysts like Dan Ives. Regardless, what happened here is Charles Gasparino posted that sources close to him in the White House said that Scott Bessent, who is the U.S. Treasury Secretary, is trying to quietly moderate Donald Trump's tariff efforts. So the retail names, which got hit really hard with these tariffs, got really excited. The idea of more moderate tariffs is really great for their business. But there is a caveat he added that I really want to highlight, because this report is not entirely bullish for the market. He also added, because of the way that Trump's trade advisor, Peter Navarro, and the Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick, because of their tight loyalty to Donald Trump, if Bessent is in fact trying to moderate his efforts, it could actually lead to a massive clash in the administration, which could also lead to some issues with the market. So I always want to add that caveat because I think it's really important. Regardless, that sent RH to the upside. Lululemon gave up a little bit at the end of the day here, but this is a fantastic day for LU, not too sour for this one. Certainly a bit of a squeeze to the upside. So keep an eye on this name. Double bottom at 258. Earlier we had a double bottom at 235-ish. Certainly levels I'll be watching. I'm going to stop my rant now, but retail actually had some nice times today.
Well, I mean, Nike as well, right? So we're talking about like what held up pretty well today. Where did you find a bull flag? You would have seen it as you showed there on Lululemon. You would have seen some other strength in other retailers, maybe not so much Walmart, but Nike, which is also making a fresh low. I mean, what is it making fresh lows, everybody? But holding support, even with that pullback at right back to the low of the day, Nike goes right into that support now at 57 and holds the top end of the range. This is the thing that you want to pay attention to. I saw someone in the chat saying, hey, IBIT held up, so Bitcoin was doing pretty good today. I think it's a pretty good sign. Like, how long have we been talking about this, that Bitcoin is just a risk asset, Bitcoin just follows the NASDAQ. If everyone's pulling risk out of the market, Bitcoin is going to fall. Well, you know what? Not today. Today, and then people have been saying this all the time, it hasn't performed like this over history, but right now, and at least in this moment, it did. So you were able to, and if you look at the daily chart, yeah, you're pulling back like everything else, but you're holding. It's not all the way filling in this gap, and this is IBIT. This is like the 73,000 level. You haven't gotten into the 70s, but you've been holding 81,000 in particular on Bitcoin through all of this mess. So when you're looking down at IBIT at 46.5 to 46.25, that's that level that's holding. So as long as, when you have market making fresh lows, and you're coming in as a trader on Monday, and I'm not saying I'm going to go long Bitcoin, but there's only one stock where I was long multiple times today, and it was IBIT. I don't think I had to shorten it at all, because at least it wasn't breaking the bottoms. Anybody can look at this ETF list and see XLF 7.4, URA down 7.3, FXI 6.9, XLB 6%, XLE 9%, I already said XLF 7.4, but you get the idea. So these little slivers and kernels of strength, when you're trading, if you're looking for longs, they can be a place that you can lean into. I happen to be, look, I'm thrilled here. Like if you're a Bitcoin person or a Bitcoin hodler or whatever they call it these days, then you should be, at least there's Fabian, he's excited about that. But I think you should be happy with how it performed relative to the overall market on a day like today. Lasse Hansen, exactly, but don't jinx BTC. I don't have that kind of power. Traders joke around about that kind of stuff. Look at this thing hold support and then it breaks support. Well, you know, it's that kind of. I'd wear the same socks when I played baseball every single time. That's about as superstitious as I get. But no, we're not jinxing anything here. You got to be able to call it what we see because it becomes really important. And speaking of what we see, Adara, where we got to on the SPY. I mean, look, I'm not talking about the 3-minute. Obviously, we're at the lows. No, where we got to on the SPY on, say, the daily chart here. Like, we didn't just get to that August low. We broke that August low today. And we also didn't, like, it's one thing if we broke it and regained it, but we closed underneath that. That's a signal. We're in a different situation here. We know this isn't the last 2 years. If this doesn't tell you that we're in a different type of market, then I don't know what will. You got to really be careful with the dip buys and the fighting the trend. But there's lots of opportunities in a market like this if you're willing to just join the flush.
Yeah, and the thing too is about timing where you join the flush. That's something I definitely want to work on when I do my reflection this week, because I think there are certainly times where I had the right idea, maybe the wrong execution, the wrong timing. Stop was like a couple cents off. You know what I mean? Stuff like that you want to work on. But the NASDAQ, too, we can talk about, down apparently 20% as of the close. We are in a bear market now for that NASDAQ. So tech bears say, "Arr," because that sounded like a pirate, because certainly their claws are out. I want to look here at MSTR because this is a crypto play. This one actually closed really weak, though it had a great day. My look on MSTR today was 285 over under, and that actually I would say was pretty accurate. So you this we open here, this is a 15-minute chart, in and around 285-ish, 286. We flush all the way down to 267, but then we come right back up, and then once we break 285, we are essentially off to the races on MSTR. But yesterday's high, which we made literally right off the open, just below 300, it was a 299.20. Today, high of day, 299.09. So MSTR, lower high, bit of a double top there on that chart, and we cannot eclipse that $300 level. I think that's really key. Something I watched on the book, but I didn't act on, but regardless, I want to share that with everybody because I'm finding, as someone who does a lot of charting and analysis, and I have an eidetic memory as well, so I like to use that to remember levels on charts. A lot of these stocks are really respecting or behaving interestingly with previous levels.
Well, what's interesting to me about that is that's the same on a 15-minute. That's the same place that IBIT made the top. The difference is, and I think this bodes well for MSTR, there I said it, we say positive things about MSTR every now and then, is when Bitcoin failed the lower high, if you had a Darius chart up there, that's when MSTR broke the high. So MSTR was actually able to break out resistance with Bitcoin not doing that. So if we do break out past the 85 level and on the IBIT past that 48 in earnest, MSTR might give you more bang for your buck. I don't like trading MSTR, you do, and you like spreading stocks. I am not a huge fan of them. I kind of go in the other direction. But it is the kind of market where, hey, if you just jump in, and sometimes you're more comfortable trading the ETF, you don't want to have to worry about picking something within a sector, and other times you want something that's going to move more. Like I don't mind, like I like Mara. If I'm shorting something, if I think Bitcoin's going down, I like shorting Mara instead of Bitcoin. It's just going to move more. But to MSTR's point, in the other direction, hey, maybe that means on Monday, if we get a relief rally, that's where you should be if you're trading crypto as opposed to IBIT. These little tidbits are what matter as you're sort of adjusting your trading. We've all talked about it. Like it's just one of those, like I said this in the morning show. Like I come in early and I do market making on buyouts, and I kind of did things normally this morning and almost paid a really large price for not adjusting to the different amount of liquidity that was out there. It's like I'm sitting there making a market, putting bids and offers in the pre-market on things that when it was uncertain, they looked like great prices to me, but at the open, someone was like, no, they're not. And I think that's the thing that you want to pay attention to. Be very precise with your entries and your exits. Because if you look at Tesla today, and that's an example that I think everyone likes Tesla and everyone looks at Tesla. And it's easy to look at a chart like this and say, well, it just simply broke down a prior support level and then it was gone. But if you don't have the right execution strategy here, then you're going to be in a world of hurt. Because there's plenty of times where it'll like run a level, break the low, let's just say, and then come right back $2, $3 against you, whereas normally it would only go one. Mm-hmm. And that's sort of the thing. So it's either like size down or give a wider stop.
Yeah.
It's like when you have less liquidity, you don't have a choice. Like you have to understand that. Like you can't just throw as much out there in the same type of market. We are not in last year's market. We are in a different one where there's less liquidity, despite the fact that volume is higher, and you're gonna have to use wider stops, and you're gonna have to size down in positions. But then it also means you have to hold for the move longer as well, because that's the environment that we're in. So I just saw the poll in the bottom. Are you guys buying the dip? It pains me to say this, but my answer is no. I have done buying this quarter, but as I said many times today, I'm sitting this out at least until we get another round of earnings, we get some more positive news, we break a trend, like something distinct has to happen before I'm buying the stocks that I want to pick up again. And everyone's going to be different. Like we are absolutely, like we're just in a different environment. Like I said, you're panicking down. We're talking about limit down situations. I think you just got to be a little bit more patient in the long term, because if you buy every single dip at every single support level, Go back and look at 2020 and see how that would have done for you. Go back and look at the financial crisis. Long-term good, but if you're a little bit more patient with it, I think you can perform a little better and you won't be sweating as much.
Yeah, I want to just pull this up here. Speaking of this, Dinkelberg in the chat asking us if we can look at Snap. So immediately I'm seeing some things on Snap that I do not know if they're the most bullish, truthfully. So one is this, I don't want to necessarily say double top. It's just basically a big old wall or ceiling here around that $18 level. So we double top it at the end of December. Then in early mid 2024, so it was December 2023, early 2024, I double or triple top this $17.50 level. So still running to resistance at the same ceiling, but about 50 cents lower. And then we get the situation where we have all of these gaps down in earnings, and then we reach a bottom of about $8.25. We double bottom that, we bounce, but then we run into another triple top level around 13, and we rounded top. And as of right now, we're actually below that $8.25 bottom. So I'm going to be honest, this chart just looks very long-term bearish, in my opinion. I'm not here to give long-term advice. I'm just looking at a chart and giving my opinion. But I do like that this closed up on the day. It looks like it's actually slightly higher pre-market. I think if we can reclaim that 825 and then even this other area that's been a little bit of a resistance area around 950s, I think that's a good look for SNAP. But it does seem like it's a little bit hard to gauge at this level. This rounded top, especially in the context of this larger ceiling around $18, I find does give me a little bit of pause, if I am being quite honest there. I might ghost this name for a long-term play as of right now, but again, not advice, just my take on this chart. I think 825 and then 950 could be of interest.
There's nothing wrong with ghosting a name. Well, so I'll give an example because someone's like, yeah, Neil, time the bottom. No. When saying being more discretionary, he's not trying to time the bottom on anything. It's just about, I'm just gonna not care if I miss the bottom, if this is that bad. And like the example I'm gonna use is Meta from a couple of years ago. Like if you remember how bad things got in 2021 and that flush that we had, remember this is the COVID actually when we had COVID. This is the drop on Meta, 204 to 140. Okay. Now when we hit that top in September of 2021. This was 380 down to 92. Like this was like the COVID drop was nothing. While Meta was going down, or while anything was going down, all I'm saying is if this extends into something resembling that or that extreme, if it's that extreme, I could care less about getting any bottom in here. I just mean that I don't want to be buying, buy. I would rather see that curl. And if I'm in it and I've missed the first 20% of the rally or 40% of the rally, but it's distinctly broken the trend, and this is a monthly chart, by the way, that's what I don't care about. I'd just rather be on the other side of the V if this turns into 2021. I wasn't saying time in the bottom. I'd rather be way more patient with the buys, either see it come into extreme levels like, would I be sitting there if Meta saw the 200, if we see 350, like this level on the monthly, would I be sitting at that level? Yeah, sure. But now we're talking about $150 from it. It's not about timing the bottom. It's just about being a little bit more patient because things are changing for sure. And just because I'm pointing this out is not me saying that that's how bad things are going to be. I just want to be prepared for it and thinking along those lines because you have to be forward thinking. That's the kind of market that we're in. And I know Sean's been talking about gold. Maybe we get a chance, like gold was down today 2%. Maybe we get a chance that if that continues to fall with the market, you get an opportunity to buy it on an upward trend where you then get that hedge back. Don't know if that correlation is going to hold. It's only down 2 points, but it did finish the day bouncing. Whoops, a little bit. Not that much, but a little bit. So if we get back to the 50 period, or probably not the 200, but if you get back to the 50 period and this holds trend, there could be an opportunity to hedge a little bit. So you got to think about, what do you want to do next? Do you want to get a little bit more defensive? I'm not really selling anything like crazy. Any selling I've done, I kind of have done already, and I'm not in that point. It's just about being patient and discretionary for sure. I know a lot of people in here, they have a lot of questions. Aldrin, this is jokes. AMC squeezing after hours? Is it really? GameStop went today. So usually I'd say, don't try to trick me. this probably isn't going anywhere because that's what usually happens. No, AMC is moving a little bit.
Yeah, people are asking, and I'm looking.
Maybe, look, I haven't heard or seen anything. I've been thinking, I don't see any stories. There's a decent chance that maybe this is just because GameStop went, and it's some weird sympathy thing because GameStop had a legitimately strong day. I'm not talking about some crazy spike up. It dipped with everything else in the morning. It dipped late morning as well. The Ryan Cohen 8% story, his stake up to 8%, and then it just trended the whole day long. Trend. So it could just be maybe AMC is following suit late. I don't know how much I would buy into it. You guys can all see the daily chart of AMC. It's not like it pains me to say this. GameStop is better than AMC right now. GameStop at least is holding some support in the 20s and every now and then gets a bounce. AMC is a different story. AMC is right back into fresh lows again, bouncing off $2 here, only $2.80. Yuck. Yeah, so no news story that I know about here at Dara, but yeah, that's not a very good looking chart. Probably just a sympathy play from GameStop running.
Yeah, so I looked into this, and it actually does not seem to be a sympathy play. It just seems to be the AMC, the apes, I think they're called, are getting really excited on X.
Okay.
It does not seem to be GME related. I think they're using the fact that GME ran as like a little bit of reason for the excitement, but they are so active right now on X. Like, we're talking multiple tweets per minute or per second, and that's usually what I use as a gauge for things being purely driven by social media action. They're also saying they don't see any news. So keep an eye on that. Also, I mean, keep an eye maybe on some of these weight loss stocks after hours as well. There's a report coming through. Apparently, the Trump administration is dropping this Medicare obesity drug coverage proposal left over from the Biden administration. So watch out for some of these Lillies, the Novo Nordisks of the world, potentially on that story. Again, just a report. But I want to see what else here's happening in the chat. Yeah, Mean Gene asking where you can follow me. I do, or when I had an X that worked before I weirdly got like, I guess, blocked on X for some reason. I don't know what I did to Elon. But anyways, I tried to, I guess, what do you do? Repeal that or appeal that? That did not work. But when I have a second, I'm going to make a new account, and then you can follow me there. I will let you guys know what that handle is once I have it. But thank you for asking. So, yeah, I mean, what else? Is anyone looking for any questions here in the chat? Thank you to everyone who's here with us. Elon Mad says, I think Fabian. Yeah, I don't know if that's why. I don't think I did anything. I literally just posted charts and, like, weird stock puns sometimes.
Ooh.
So that's all it was. VIX is skyrocketing, says Scott Thompson.
Well,
yeah, I mean, lots of volatility here.
Yeah, I don't have my old, I don't have my trading view up at this station, but I can show you, at least on this one, I just kind of threw it up here. I'm not logged into it right now, but you don't need it to see. We have found a resistance spot on the VIX, like where we spiked in the morning, that 45-ish area. We've gone there multiple times, and you're just riding on the precipice here for potential. I mean, we'll see what happens. Like, if you go out a little bit, like, it's been a while since we've had this. This is what we talk about, it being a dip. Like, when the VIX hits past 30, you know you're somewhere different. We break out past 50, and that is a totally different story. Remember the August lows? We didn't get to 40 in the August lows. Now, if I pull it back, maybe I have to go, do I want to go all time? Yeah, I need to go all time so you guys can see this. If you pull it back here to all time, understand that once we get past 50 on the VIX, that's when you know what's up, right? Like, it gets really spicy. I think it was 70. Oh, I know we were higher than this. I swear we were higher than that. It doesn't really matter. If we break 50, it's going to be nasty, I think, for the VIX. So for the first time in a while, I constantly had the chart, the volatility chart up. And I know the last time I did that was after COVID. It was during COVID that I would constantly need to have it up. So I think you're in that kind of an environment. You want to pay attention to the VIX. I know sometimes we care a lot about what's going on with treasury yields. I'm probably watching futures and VIX a heck of a lot more than I usually would. Everybody, William Knight, I hope not, because William Knight in our chat just said SPY 490 by when? By next Friday, you do say. I think, yeah, we're definitely in a spot where you got to at least think about these things. 490, of course, being, that's why I'm pulling it up here. That's the low from last year. So last year's bottom was actually just above that 490. We're basically there now. We closed underneath the August low. So it wouldn't even be crazy if you just had a range from that bottom into the August, like that August low. It just sort of sat inside of that range, which is where we're at right now. Even if we went sideways, that would still be pretty bad for the market to base out there. So it's not crazy at all. Like, you're not throwing something out there which is ridiculous. We were just at 550 a couple of days ago. And unfortunately, I wish we weren't saying that. But as you mentioned, Adara, the Q's bear territory.
Mm-hmm. Bear territory.
We're now in a bear market, everybody. And it's not, if it's your first time in a bear market, as I was making the example before and trying to illustrate, especially when the stocks I was looking at the open, liquidity is just different, right? So wider stops, have a much more patient approach to trading and entries, more particular entries if you can. That can help, smaller size, whatever works for you. There's multiple ways that you can risk less. You can either trade with smaller size or you can have tighter stops. Well, in a highly volatile market, it's very difficult to trade with tighter stops. So therefore, it does usually mean that you're sizing down. But it doesn't matter. Like, you're getting bigger moves. Like, anyone that traded in 08 will tell you this. You were able to trade with less size, and it didn't make a difference. You were still making more money because the moves were ridiculous. That's the environment that it feels like we're going to be in for sure, everybody. And shout out to everyone in the chat now throwing in some SPY. What do they think? SPY back up by Tuesday. 500 we're going to on the SPY. All those things are possible. I always tend to believe I would rather try to react to price action than predict price action. To me, the job of a trader, and everyone's a little bit different, to me, the job of a trader is to simply make decisions based on price action as opposed to saying the market will go up or the market will go down. You pretty much, I don't think you ever hear me say that because in 20 years or more than that now, I've just never felt that's an approach that works for me. I feel like if I'm like, this is what's going to happen in the market, all it's going to make me do is be biased to where the price action is going to go. And then suddenly I can't get past what I think should happen, and I'm ignoring what's actually being the market's telling me. So I like to listen to the market a little bit. Right now, the market's telling you so.
Yeah, the way I like to look at it is too, is if there's like specific levels that I like, that I find interesting, then I'll really be watching to see if it does what I think it's going to do. But I usually like to be pretty over-under in those scenarios, just like wait, see what it tells me. Also, Jen Smith mentioning Eli Lilly to the downside. Worth noting here, Novo Nordisk also to the downside here, and HIMS. I mentioned that there was maybe watch these stocks here. I'm seeing this report on X, and I'm not sure if this is confirmed at this time, but Donald Trump's administration reportedly dropping this Medicare obesity drug coverage proposal left over from the Biden era. So keep an eye. Novo Nordisk to the downside, though. I've said this, and I will stand by this. Nova can have a positive catalyst. They can have a negative catalyst. Either way, it'll sell off on the day of, and sometimes it usually has a midday reversal. But generally, it sells off all day. So Novo to the downside, Lilly now near 700, and HIMS. So I just wanted to go over those. Thank you, Jen Smith, for mentioning those. I did mention them. It looks like they did make that move on that catalyst. Also, shout out to Wall Street Engine. I'm seeing this on X. Apparently, Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA, they were in the $3 trillion club. None of them are anymore.
Nope.
So we have no companies left in that $3 trillion club. Oh, boy.
We can't
I have
take
to
it
say that.
anymore.
Oh, boy.
Mr.
And Eli
President,
Lilly,
it's too much.
you know what? I don't like it here anymore.
No.
Like, the last time it was here, like, I know I said it, and, you know, I've been a person that's, I've sold 3 times, well, actually twice in the 90s, because one of them was really too small a sell to matter in my long-term account. But I have bought at the 700 and sold to 90s. I'm long from a while back in Eli Lilly, but I'm not buying this one. You know, like, you're condensing that 5,200. You could be you could make an argument that, yeah, you could hold that support again. But in this environment, I'm not betting on that. I'm thinking here what just happened in Walmart. Walmart, very similar, not the exact same kind of name, but a similar thing. Like, you had a big support level and you broke it today. Eli Lilly looks like it's primed to break its support, and we haven't even gotten any tariffs on pharmaceuticals right now. So I think you got to be very, very careful about the old let's just buy in front of support notion that usually works. Sometimes it's better to see it hold and buy the continuation. You know, sometimes you get a good move, sometimes you get a small move, but that's a safer way to play longs in this environment. So, you know, that's the kind of thing we want to be talking about here, not necessarily, hey, look at that support level, we should just automatically sit on the bid in front of it and hope it works out like it has for 2 years. That's not what we're looking at anymore. I can't believe it's already 428 here, everybody. What is that poll saying? 54% are buying the dip. Giddy up. I'll grant you this, though. The younger you are, then I think the more likely it would make sense to be a little bit more aggressive buying dips. It's just in a general sense, that's how it should be. So, yeah, we'll see. And Daniel B., you're absolutely correct. It's the NASDAQ that's in a bear market, not the SPY hasn't gone there yet. The SPY or the S&P 500 has not gone into bear territory yet. It's pretty close. I think it has to hit this 2024 low to go into bear territory, so it's a little bit semantics there. But the NASDAQ is firmly in bear territory. But speaking of bears, it's roll call time.
It is.
And when we have roll call time here on the Profit X Recap Show, we like to make sure that everybody who wants their name read in the chat in rapid fashion by Adara gives a shout out to someone in our crew. Gives thanks to maybe even someone in the community. Shout out someone in the community who answered one of your questions, maybe. We have a great community that's always talking to each other and supporting each other, so it could be anybody. Maybe it could be Sleep Coffee Trade in here that answered a question for you. Maybe you want to thank Fabian and Ramin for making us look and sound good all day. Maybe you want to thank Joey Options or Obi on the midday, filling in for our good friend Sharif. Maybe you want to thank Brendo and, of course, Adara for bringing you the news, which has been a little crazier the last few months.
So much news.
So
much news.
Maybe you want to give a big shout out and thanks to my main man, Sean, for sure. Or Bears versus Bulls, the best moderator in the business. Whatever it might be, maybe you can say a thanks to your mom. Say hi, Mom. I don't care. I'm going to say hi, Mom, myself. It's roll call time. Just put something positive in there and let's get it started.
Yeah, thank you all for the kind words to everyone. Bears versus Bulls, we have Neil, Sean, Fabian, Ramin, Andre, Obi, Sharif, and Joe, and Brendan, and we've got Jaspreet Singh, Mean Keen, Eric S, Monty G, The Beautiful Gate, Namo 6, Bilbo Bagholder, I always love that name, Rob Palmer, Big Sauce, Nephew with capital P, Robin P, Corey, we've got Sir Poopy Paper Hands, Lot 1769, Monty G, Butter Biscuit Heads, Johnny H, Sixto V, Joseph Brown, Holly Allen, Arazede, we've got Mary Jose, we've got Richard Cabeza, Crypto FOMO, Mike the Piper, Marie, Holy, Ron Wheeler, Blatant Stomp, I love that one, Po Chan, we've got ETH 2021, David Treziak, Never Always Ever, NYC Urbanista, Sleep Coffee Trade, Lead Pen, and we'll end here with Obi Swing Kenobi. I love that. Thank you all for being here with us every single day, and we'll see you again on what will probably be a manic Monday for the market.
Well, we expect it. Maybe we get some good news over the weekend. You absolutely never know. Keep your ear to the ground because maybe some deals get made and things look a heck of a lot better on Monday. But I promise you this, get some rest, come back, because at 8:30 Monday morning, we'll be right here to cover it all, trade it all, and just basically be the only real-time market opportunity for you to watch at Trader TV Live. It's been your market recap show brought to you by Profit X. We'll see you Monday morning. Bye, guys.